ahoy, and good day once again to ye mateys! Oh, I'm the DM, Josh the Pirate, oh, the Humblewood MVP. We're nearing the end and I'm around the bend and that's not bothering me. And I'm back with another episode in my Humblewood world of Elements and Evil. With me, I have, oh, shoopy-doo, it's Daria Zhdanova. I want to be like John Best. I want to walk like Karen Schling, talk like Brandon Ellis, shoo-be-doo. So let's talk about these lovely folks.
Okay. I was wondering for a while what it was, and then I was like, oh, it's this. I thought you were doing Skibbity Toilet or something.
The day when Josh does Skibbity Toilet on the channel, I quit and never come back.
I don't even know what that is. Daria, who the absolute heck are you?
My name is Daria. I am an artist. I've done the portraits for the channel, emotes and stuff like that. And I'm very hireable if you need some art. And here I play Julio Switchgear, local rogue pope.
Yep, rogue pope. John, who the heck are you?
Hi, I'm John. I've been a performer for 20 years and lover of D&D for not 20 years. Maybe 5. I play Bron here, local Iron Man, I guess. Yeah.
We need to get him flying.
That's about it. Yeah, that's it. Well, just you wait. We got to level up. We've got some interesting questions for you.
Okay. Fuck. Oh dear. Karen, who the heck are you?
Hello, I am Karen, sometimes known as the Mother of Bunnies. I am a performer, a writer, an internet addict. You can find me on Corsair's Cove, usually on Tuesday night playing Baldur's Gate, and alternating between crowing about what an incredible badass murder machine I am, and screaming because my entire party is about to die horribly. You can follow me on social media things, links in chat, and listen to me in the D&D podcast There Be Dragons, where I play Ryland Westfall, a dragonborn badass, who, unlike me, could definitely take a punch.
Cool. And Brendan, who the heck are you?
Hello, I'm Brendan. I'm your local Tar Lord. I'm also hireable. If you want me to grab you by the ankles and put you in for a slight dip, just send me a DM and we can make that happen.
It's an innovative new beauty treatment.
Maybe you just want a light singeing. I could do that too. Want your property to be damaged in a raging inferno. I'm your boy.
So, insurance scams, call Brendan. All right.
Legally, this is a joke.
DMs, private DMs. All right, and I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel Corsair's Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG-related games with my lovely wife Karen, the mother of bunnies, and all my splendid friends. If you like my majestic voice, but you think I can stand to turn the face down a bit, you can check me out in the podcast There Be Dragons, where I play in the infamous and deadly pirate Scan Felspar und his little dragon, Rosh. I'm also sometimes a scourge elsewhere on the internet. And I must also remind our red, fiery, and possibly even human audience to please like, follow, and subscribe to all the things. You bloody champions, we have all the exclamation mark socials. We have a YouTube if you want to catch up on all the episodes you may have missed. And we have a Discord. Where you can come and hang out with us, ask questions, look at the memes, some of the arts, you get like little sneaky previews and stuff. It's very fun. Can't wait for the next episode in 2032. What? Oh, that. Yeah, well, look.
Oh shit, I just realized I didn't call Matt back. Oops.
Yes, there are red hot fellows in all areas.
If Castell turns up in chat, someone let me know so I can say sorry for not returning his phone.
Karen, could you tell me
just
quickly
have
about...
the conversation live with you here on video and him in chat.
It's like, Castell, I'm so sorry.
Hey, Tony.
I was having a nap.
Karen, could you tell me about the Ukraine, please?
I can. The Ukraine. There's a war. It sucks. It sucks ass. It's awful. And unfortunately, it's still going on. Yay. So, if you have some spare digital pennies that you really need to get out of that wallet, you can follow the link in chat to donate to the Emergency Action Appeal. It's a group of charities and not-for-profits based in Australia that are specifically supporting Ukrainian refugees. So if you can, every little helps. And just from what I've been seeing on social media lately, they're like arresting a ton of students in America for protesting the war in Palestine.
Yeah.
And there are like bail appeals that you can donate to help bail the students out of jail after they get arrested at the protest.
After they have their constitutional rights violated by their
Yeah,
police.
that fun thing. So if you've already donated to Ukraine and you're like, I want to do something different with my money, look up that one, because it's yeah.
I mean, you can help English-speaking white people. What was that 2 on point? Sorry, I apologize.
Yeah, really helps selling the charity. Really, nailing down what is important. Love it.
And
we love everyone, but especially this demographic.
Sorry,
one of my happy fantasies about winning the lotto is just finding all the charity drives they can and just giving them money and just sitting there and enjoying that sweet, sweet high of doing something.
I'm saying it right now. I have a ticket for this evening's $40 million Aussie Lotto. So, if that happens, my cast gets paid and we bail out a few.
They turn up next week.
Protesters from the US. Then a house for all the bitches, and which is a Rachel Foucaultism, and I love it.
I was gonna say,
I think her intention is to buy one big house and put all the bitches in it.
It's just easy to find them.
My vibe would have been a house individually for several of the bitches that I like the most. But Rachel doesn't have a huge number of the bitches. So
like if we
whereas
bought
my
that
number is quite
castle
high
in Mount Lawley, I reckon you could fit a lot of bitches in that.
Yeah. What, you mean the Redemptionist Monastery? That one?
It's a Redemptionist monastery?
Yeah, it's got a big sign out the front of it that says Redemptionist Monastery.
Look, I was distracted.
You mean the one just down the road from your work?
Do you measure the volume of everything in bitches? Like,
no, that's Rachel Foucault.
How much is a water bottle? Is that
it's like
0.08 of a bitch?
Yeah, maybe 0.08, yeah.
I don't know, Bishop Blood. This has gone well off the rails at this point.
I would just
say D&D.
Completely unlikely for this stream.
Instead of 5 foot squares, it's just 1 bitch squares.
I would like to move 3 bitches closer to the pack of rabid kobolds.
I'll allow it. Bear in mind, if you're going diagonally, it's like 4 bitches.
We will forgive you if you would rather move to a stream which is just hosted by bears in the woods instead.
The music that was until very recently gracing your ear holes is provided by Sirenscape. We are affiliated with 2 wonderful TTRPG related companies. Firstly, Trollord Games, the splendid folks over there, the creators of the Castles and Crusade system. They have a huge variety of downloadable stuff on their online store. I believe the core rulebook is actually free at the moment. So you can get the book and then go, ooh, how does play? And then purchase from them all of the sort of modules and so forth. There is tons. And the second group is, that's right, I've set it to automatic, is Woodenforge. Woodenforge, the creators of WA and possibly even the world's finest handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories, like this gorgeous Jarrah Dice Keeper right here. Jarrah is an Australian wood. They make all of their stuff out of Australian and exotic hardwoods. It's also, a lot of their stuff is reclaimed wood as well, which is jolly pretty things. Check them out at woodenforge.com/Corsairs Cove. And we get a cheeky little kickback if you do. Because I don't shill, but I do have bills. So, mateys, we need a bit of a recap, but before we do that, the guys leveled up last time. And we need someone to roll some fucking dice. So, we always begin at number 1, Daria. What are you doing? What is Julio doing? Are we taking a level in Pope or a level in Rogue?
We are taking a level in Pope.
Okay.
I got some exciting spells.
Shit, yeah, 3rd level.
Yes, sir. 3rd level spells, finally. And yeah, the only thing that I don't currently have is my sweet HP. So.
Very well. You need a D8 rolled in chat, do you?
Yes.
So we need a couple of people to roll d8s. If you, we will pick the better of the two, because I shot myself in the ass long ago with that one. Just an 8, no D.
No D? Damn it.
Sorry, Bishop Bosch, you can go for it. Go on, do it. Do it. A 6 from Tony. So the Bishop Blood is off the hook. Roll space, the number 8. T-Killer.
Come on, an 8. Come on, I need to be thick.
No D. No D. And Crispin Crunch needs
That's
a
a
roll.
good number, though.
Exclamation
Unable
mark.
to make a request. That's
Yeah.
pretty
Fair,
good.
Crispin Crunch wrote exactly what you said.
Did I not say exclamation mark?
No.
There we go. McBestington got a 4. Well,
Okay,
there we are.
done.
So 6 it is for Julio.
Sorry.
Perfectly reasonable.
No, that's fine. That's like one above average. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. I'll take it.
Splendid. That's okay. You're absolutely welcome. All right. Well, now then. So what does that actually bring you up to, Julio? Does that make it 83?
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. All right.
83.
83 for a level 11 rogue pope. I like the way that sounds as well. It's actually swashbuckler pope, but rogue pope
Yes.
means like he's a pope that just no one can control him.
Exactly. Yeah. Independent.
Almost like
yeah,
he's
not in the
a-
system.
A pope of a brand new god.
Almost like that.
Almost.
A progue. All right, John. Tell me about what you're gonna do. Are we going
So,
full Iron Man? Another level in Artificer?
definitely another level in Artificer, which allows me to swap out some of the enchantments. Now, one question is, if I took the homunculus
Yeah.
infusion,
Yeah.
could I turn the deep fryer into a little
Yes.
sentient
Yeah.
robot?
You absolutely could.
Yes.
Great. If I did, could I give it
Did
the
you were
boomstick?
worried I'd say no to that? I
Well,
don't know if you can arm them.
Yeah, they come with a weapon, with a ranged
Oh.
weapon.
Then yes.
Yes. All right, great. I've got some stuff to do. Okay. Or I can learn spells. I'll
And
have
we
to have a
need
think about that one.
we need a couple of D8s for John because Artificer is a D8. So a couple more, please. Exclamation mark roll space the number 8. And Karen and I have not discussed this at all, actually, because I
was just thinking.
I was like, oh fuck, I was meant to do that. I should just change the fucking command to actually a D8.
Yeah,
Tony gets
you
another
should.
6 because it's just
As soon
intuitive.
as you do,
Oh, everyone
everyone
will-
will
yeah.
do the
Yeah.
thing
Exactly.
that they've been trained. Yeah.
Tony get
yeah.
another 6. That's pretty good. Can we get? And then T-Killer got a 2. Never mind. Bron gets a 6. There you are. Perfectly serviceable, but not absurd. I'll take it. Thank you very much. Nice
That's
one,
how
Tony.
they describe me, usually.
Perfectly serviceable,
but not
and Josh
absurd.
will take it. Alrighty, no more for Tony. He's rolling too well. Okay. And Karen, what are you thinking?
I hadn't thought about it at all. I kind of forgot it was happening.
Shall we come back to Karen? Give Karen another couple of minutes, because I'm reasonably confident Brendan's going to do some wacky multi-class like he loves to do. What are you thinking, Brendan?
Monk.
Druid Monk works. Druid Monk plays.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say
Drunk.
Monk wouldn't be too bad with how Ereq
Yeah.
likes to fuck.
Yeah.
But no.
Okay,
he's-
the
Hold on.
details we didn't
Hold on.
need.
There was a word that was wrong in there.
I use all my
That
key
was-
points for flurry of fucks.
Ugh.
I just
sorry.
flashed back to an
Flurry of
Auntie Donna
thrusts.
song for a second, but that's fine. Morning Brown. No, I'm going full Tar Lord, so it's another level of Druid for me. Which now I'm gonna say means not a lot that's very interesting for me, but what all the non-spellcasters in the party will say is, hey, Brendan, you have 6-level spells now. And I say,
And who are those
yes.
non-spellcasters, I wonder?
actually, no one. We're all
Exactly.
spellcasters. Yeah.
Everyone's at least podcasters now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I'm the good caster of the group. So,
You are.
Okay. That's
Wow.
that's an interesting value judgment right there.
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, you can think
He's
about
not
that
wrong,
when I
but-
turn you into stone.
If you can fucking find me, because I'm gonna be in the darkness that my friend makes. So not
Yeah.
bitch.
There is that.
Well, you certainly showed me. Notably for this subclass, the Wildfire Druid, it is the first level, I think, or the first spell level that there isn't
Previous.
preset spells that
Yeah, wow.
I always know. So, and it's the start of where spell slots start becoming limited and they don't really open up again. Like I think the most spell slots I will get at level 6 now will be 2
Yeah.
at like level 17 or 18. So but that just means more burning hands for everyone. So that's how I'm gonna roll, baby.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, can I get 2 d8s in the chat,
please.
please?
Exclamation mark roll space the number 8 without a D in front of it.
Honestly, for me, it was a huge like toss up if I want to go Rogue 7 because Rogue 7 is evasion.
It is good.
So
Mm.
yeah.
I was a little surprised that you didn't, but
Fucking
also
every
not
time.
surprised.
She just maxes
I
it
want us to
every
have
fucking
more
time.
sendings. I want sendings, you know?
Or just someone can take a message. Yeah, Rogue 7 is good. I mean, you had it before, I'm pretty sure. We traded you down. When you
I
started
think
into Bard.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's an 8 from Southern Skies.
Sure is, baby.
Fucker,
That
again.
brings me to 98 hit points.
Why are you so
Druid.
thick? Give us some of
Druid
that ass.
at
Like, come
level
on.
11. It's fucked. All right, cool. And Karen.
I've had at least 4 or 5.
Oh,
max
you've
rolls
maxed.
on the
Yeah.
last.
Yeah. Like half of them, yeah. Admittedly, you do get 2 shots at it, but yeah, it's absurd. And he has a pretty high con.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Karen, the one who actually gets to roll a d10 for their hit dice. We can do that first if you're
Yes.
sticking Ranger. I don't think we haven't really... There hasn't been any particularly good narrative reason to multi-class.
No, she's all ranger, baby.
Yeah. If I was going to multi-class you anything, I'd go Druid.
Mm.
But mainly for spell slots.
I would go fighter, but that's because I'm a min-maxer.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But fighters, can use their action surge and
There is that. Yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of cool.
Yeah, but
No, it's good for a single level. But let's do Ranger. Okay, D10, please. Hey, Terrace. Yeah, this is the thing. Higher level Ranger gets very good.
yeah, I get a pretty dope feature.
An 8 from T Killer. Thank you very much, Killer.
Nice.
That's
good.
So I get Magic User's Nemesis at level 11. Which means I gain the ability to thwart someone else's magic. When you see a creature casting a spell or teleporting within 60 feet of you, you can use your reaction to try to magically foil it. The creature must succeed on a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC, or its spell or teleport fails and is wasted.
That is so cool. It's like Mage Slayer, but
counterspell.
like even better a little
Counter
bit.
spell, but only once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or a long rest.
That's still
So
pretty
if I have a
dope.
short rest,
That's
I
huge.
can do it again.
Wow.
I'm glad that Ereq and Kesh have made up.
I'm glad someone in this party can finally nope spells.
And I get to add a 3rd level spell as well.
Hell yeah.
The main issue with these cool features is that we need to actually remember to use them, because that's the biggest thing for us.
That's the trick.
I just remembered one of the infusions I'm going to swap to is Radiant Weapon, which allows me as a reaction to cast a blinding light and blind someone, which is going to be interesting if we're in magical darkness. I don't know how that's going to work, but it's fun. Let's try that.
Well, there we
Well,
are.
they would be functionally blinded in the darkness anyway.
Yeah.
What
doubling
spell
down.
should I should I take, guys? I could take Revivify.
That's very good, but I will tell you right now, I have it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, me too. It's permanently prepared for wildfire.
What a
use.
waste.
Yeah.
I can conjure animals, which would be
Yes.
giant bugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Particularly
Kind of
with your
fun.
ring.
Bug Queen.
Daylight, flame arrows, waste of time. Globe of twilight, not that great. Meld into stone, limited. Non-detection, I can hide something from divination magic. That's very specific.
Very specific.
That's a very specific thing. Protection from energy, so I can give resistance to a type of energy, but it's a con spell.
It's
So it only gives you resistance as long as I can.
and it's an action as
Yeah.
well. It's yeah. We are being
May
made.
I-
Plants, water breathing, water walk, or wind wall, which is
I reckon summon animals.
yeah, it
gotta
kind of
be
has to be
summon
summon animals, doesn't it? Really?
Jerry Cola,
May
thank you
I
very
make
much for
a
joining us.
suggestion?
Jack Squarepeg, you bloody champions. Sorry, I'll just welcome the folks and then we'll
Yeah.
hear Brendan's suggestion. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for dropping your peeps in. Hope you had a lovely game of Baldur's Gate. I was watching for some of it and screaming in my heart because that's what the title was. But yeah, thank you guys for coming along, hanging out with us. It's lovely to have you all. Jack's a splendid bean. He'll be joining us on not this coming Monday, but the next. Having a debrief. Happy raid stream. No worries, Jack, you bloody champion. We're just going to have a quick shout out for the wonderful Jack Squarepeg. If you guys are looking for another quality streamer, you could do far worse because, and it would be super groovy if you did, actually, because he is 5 follows away from 200, so that'd be neat if you could smash that follow button.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Love a milestone.
We do love a milestone, and who knows, maybe his players will get inspiration. Cherry Cola, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. So yes, come back not this coming Monday, but the Monday afterwards for Jack being in my Humblewood world, where we go back to Barovia. The super fun, happy, lovely time that they all have in Barovia. It's great. No one ever has a bad time there. Oh no, Darius, I fucking have a similar thing, Benny. So Brendan, what was your awesome idea?
Oh, look, I will preface this by saying, Karen, I think you should follow your heart. But while proof against detection or whatever it's called is definitely niche, we're getting into higher levels now where our enemies are higher and higher profile, and so are we. So in such a case where we want to run around without being detected, that could be really useful. And in the meantime, you can just use a higher level spell slot for your lower level spells to make them better. But as a ranger, you don't need to worry too much about like maxing your spell usage because you've already got the rest of us to kind of do that for you. That's just my
valid.
2 cents.
That's a good point. But question: the non-detection, is it for one person or is it for the group, like pass without trace?
Is a single target.
Yeah,
A single
and it
target.
can be an
I think-
item.
Yeah, it can be a
Oh,
target.
that's pretty
or an
neat. I think
object.
if it's one person, it could be useful. For example, if someone goes on a scouting mission,
Yeah.
like say the rogue, but that's very niche.
Yeah,
Like, how often do we split is the question.
yeah. And
What I would
when you
say
do-
is if there's nothing else on that spell list at that level that really calls you and you're just looking at taking a spell for the sake of taking a spell, my vote would be non-detection.
non-detection. Okay, interesting.
But if there's something there that's like, oh fuck yeah, that would be cool to use, then do that.
I mean, I'm a massive proponent of numbers, and having more allies. Ereq already summons things. Summon an animal companion. I think a giant bug would be really would be very in theme for Kesh. But I also think when a ranger levels up, they can trade out one of the spells they know for a new one. So Karen and I can also just go and have a look at her list after the stream, We'll say that she's got non-detection for now. Happy with that. I don't
It's
think
not likely
either
to
will
matter
become
one way or the other this session.
Yeah. Summon corgis. Yeah, that'll be good. With a chicken tender. Yes. Alrighty, splendid. Well, then, guys, we should probably catch up our lovely audience with what the fuck happened last time. John, would you do the honors? Tell us what the absolute heck happened in the previous episode.
I will, but I will also, before that, ask if some questions about the boomstick, because I've currently got a custom item there. Is there a creation of the boomstick that we know, for instance, if it's a martial weapon or a simple weapon?
So the thing is, I made that item so fucking long ago. The notes have gone. Like, the notes were lost in the hard drive loss of over 2 years ago. So, like, it was season fucking 1. It might have been.
What I remember about the boomstick is that it does 5d10 damage, and it's really cool, and it like flashes neon lights and makes cool music.
Best guess, it was a 2d8, maybe 3d8 weapon. It fired a cone of fire about 15 feet. It could only be reloaded by somebody who can create magic fire. And at the time, that was Ereq. Right. So yeah, you could give it to Julio. Julio could fire it once and hand it back to Ereq for another go. It was not a hugely efficient weapon. That was why it was designed, and it was designed that way. It was you go into the combat, you've got one blast, and then it's just throw it away, and we'll pick it up again later. And they have not used it in 8 levels of progression.
I really want to use it, but I want to use it on like the god or something, you know, like really just like blast them in the face.
They keep it in their heads like it's only a one-use weapon. I'm like, no, you can reuse it as many fucking times as you want. You just don't. Is it a martial weapon? Yes, it is a martial weapon.
Cool. Okay, and I found a standard shotgun kind of template, which is great, which is also 2d8. I'm asking because I'm infusing it with something called repeating shot, which means it ignores the loading property. So you can just fire it as many times per turn as you want. It makes its own magical ammunition.
Yep.
I love you so much right now. Holy shit.
Yeah, and Stephen the Deep Fryer has it.
Amazing.
So...
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So you're going to catch the audience up on who and what the fuck is Stephen, but also what happened last episode.
Stephen is from our Bron and Julio's childhood, was a priest of the Earth? Amaranthine? One of them that we disagreed with and we convinced to change his bad ways. And he did. They did.
Stephen.
Oh, yes. Right, I'm with you. Okay, the Tilia. Yes,
yeah.
Stephen. He worshipped the Tilia Amaranthine, or something along those lines.
No, he worshipped the one of the elements.
He worshipped the elemental plane of Earth. That was the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so that was many times ago. This campaign began with slimes kidnapping children, and so we hot-footed it to Humblewood, and we saved some children and Ereq's grandma, Granny. Granny, yeah, cool. Who so far has been a lovely lady, at least to Bron. We investigated and discussed the matter with 2 experts who advised that we were dealing with death-infused slimes, and that's weird, and also that death energy plus life energy is void energy, which that information has been floating around, has popped up a number of times, but so far we have avoided interacting with it. We came back to the tree. We found Leandric's lair, who was the necromancer. We found him with the help of Sage, and we defeated him, but we didn't kill him. So he's alive, and a number of his victims have come back to life, which is nice. But he has gone to jail. We also expunged the budding death node by nuking it with energy from the local life node, which was a great idea at the time. And then that night, as we slept, we realized we forgot to unplug it fully, and the nodes festered and combined into the first ever tree node, which is cool. And absolutely no issues or concerns were raised with our actions there, which is not true. Ereq, quite rightly, was a little bit scared and yelled at us a little bit. So after that, though, we all realized each other's intents were good, and we attended a theater showing of Kesh's life, which was funny and fun until it devolved into a fight. The actors and a bunch of the orchestra seemed to be controlled by someone or something. So after we defeated everyone involved, Julio, Kesh, and Ereq raced off because two of them were cursed and dying, and now they're not, which is great. And while they were doing that, Bron found some drugs on the controlled actors that reminded him of the tree node. And that is kind of where we left it, I think.
Yeah. Only one mild point that I would make, that the orchestra and the conductor summoned an air elemental in the place, but you weren't there for like most of that, so I can forgive you for forgetting it. Though Bron was the one who banished it.
Good.
He did such a great job when you weren't here. In the dark as well. No one saw it. As far as most people are concerned, Julio killed it. Because Ereq told them he did. Right? He did it. He told them that before it even happened too.
Well,
cool.
Well, no, that's not true. It happened, and then Ereq said that Julio did it, and then he came back.
So yeah. Well, mateys, may you possess allies who would sacrifice their lives for you, and may none of them actually attempt to do so, as we head tremulously at first, and then with mounting heat and passion into the Humblewood. Because, yes, another actually a fairly major key point there was that at the end of it, Ereq saved Kesh from being cursed, and was then like, right, well, I'm just going to go off and die then, because I can't do that twice. And Julio and Kesh and Visca and Havel, between them, managed to convince Ereq that, no, that's a dumb idea, and we will save you. And, yeah, it was very lovely and heartwarming, and Havel was quite cross. So, yes, I think we should return to the Alderheart then. So, guys, where am I? Oh, yes, and there was a small sort of post-credits scene. We return to the gang's increasingly un-super secret hideout.
Wait. You can't just say, oh yeah, and there was like the small
I'm about to mention it again in the stuff I've written. Increasingly super, well, it's still super, but it's increasingly unsecret hideout, where they have all just had a well-needed night's rest. Julio spent the first part of it in communion with the Alderheart, and then had a bit of a nasty dream. So what did the rest of you do? How did the rest of you spend the evening?
Bron was definitely tinkering with Steven and bringing it to life, just as like a way to unwind.
Yeah.
It's been a big couple days. He needed to like do something with his hands.
Okay.
So yeah, and then also that was finished. So he was like, "Hey, boomstick," and realized that you could fuel it with oil from the deep fryer. So yes.
Is it called Steven or Stephen?
No, it's got 3 S's at the front.
Yeah. Is that because of the noise it makes when it's cooking?
It is.
It is
yes.
now. Cool. Karen, how do you spend the night? You are muted, my lovely.
God damn it. Just me and the mute button. We have a tenuous relationship. I think Kesh would allow herself a moment to lie on the floor and then would brush herself off from that brush with death and return to the theatre to make sure that people have been appropriately imprisoned or taken to healers.
There is a full platoon of Perch Guard, well, it's sort of reinforced with a few Wildwood Brigadiers, but it's mainly Perch Guard, have locked the fucking place down. The last sort of medics are pulling out. That all the injured people have already been removed, and now bodies are being taken out. A frazzled but competent-looking lieutenant is there and says, "Oh, Colonel, I was told you were getting some rest. You had a bit of a brush with stuff in there. We've just been told to lock the place down and wait for you and your team to come back and look at it over, but we figured that would be tomorrow morning at the very earliest. So if you don't mind me saying, you do look like you need a bit of a... We've got it here. Don't worry. I've locked the place down. There's 4 men on every entrance."
Yeah, I'm just going to go in and walk around, and then I will go get some beauty sleep.
Yeah, you're the boss. Yeah, Mitchelson. And he clicks his fingers, and 2 Perch Guard come on over, and they accompany you. He gives them a meaningful nod towards you, and they just follow you. They'll help you with any, like, if you need any heavy lifting done, getting any rebel arrows, whatever, out of the way. They'll handle it.
I basically just want to do a lap.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess see if anything jumps out at me.
That's why they're really there.
Just soaking up the space in which this messed up thing happened, and just, is there anything magical or mundane that stands out as
in the actual auditorium?
Note. Yeah.
Make me an investigation check.
Oh, also, can I ask a question? Did we kill anyone? Did anyone die in this whole thing?
Yes. The assassin who tried to kill Kesh and Ereq.
Okay.
I mean,
And
a lot of
few
people
members
died.
Of the orchestra.
Yeah, a lot of people died, but not directly from your actions, except for that one guy.
Okay.
I rolled a nice 21.
21?
A legally drinking age roll.
Nice.
In America, obviously. So yeah.
Why can I not see? There we go. Cool. Glorious. I like it. You do that. In the auditorium itself, the place is an absolute shambles. Scorch marks are seared in several places along the right-hand side of the chamber, as well as spots where the wood seems to have ruptured from within. There is also a fair amount of blood. There's quite a large circle of chairs that have been just completely obliterated down the right-hand side of the room as you sort of look at the stage. The remaining bodies are being pulled out. But all the prisoners have already been taken away. Anything they had on them would have been taken from them when they got where they were going. Unless it was a weapon, in which case it would have been removed from them immediately. But, what else you would find?
Real quickly, I just wanted to point out, Terrace bought a floating D4 for us.
I did see that, yeah. There is currently 2. It's why we don't normally do them, otherwise I have to keep track of them.
Yeah. But we can just bully Terrace and say you have to give it to someone.
I think we've all got one at the moment.
I tell you what, Terrace, seeing as there is 2 floating ones, adding them together would make an inspiration. So why don't you tell somebody, why don't you give inspiration to John or Julio? John or Daria, I don't know, yeah.
Hey, Terrace, you look so cool today.
How do you,
So cool.
Can you see Terrace?
Always.
No one has ever
But
seen
don't tell
Terrace.
anyone. My hidden
scary.
cameras in the house of every viewer, but shh.
Terrace gives it to... What a better move, Daria. So it's Bron.
What?
Yes.
Oh
That's
my
very
god.
funny.
Okay. Fine.
We don't support Russian hackers here. Daria.
I've been here all this time and now you tell me this?
Yeah. Only financially. There isn't sensing around for it. There is a huge amount of residual magic in the room, but it's with a 21. It is the vast majority of it is air, obviously. There is a little bit of death though. In fact, it is in the pools of blood where you and Ereq got stabbed.
Mm-hmm. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's your blood. And you can fucking track it from where you got stabbed. But yeah. Other than that, you do get a good sense that the building is being very thoroughly locked down. Most of what would be relevant to an investigation has already either been removed or sort of catalogued this room.
Cool.
Cool.
I'll take a moment to soak it in, and then I will leave and go collapse face down in a bed somewhere. Not fussed about whose. Anyone's is available.
Yeah. Well, the super secret hideout does have sort of a large communal bunk room of about sort of 5 or 6 beds.
Oh yeah,
They're
I
all
collapse
just-
face down in one of the bunks and are quickly covered with my usual bug.
Yeah,
Blanket.
within about 15 minutes, a blanket full of bugs sort of comes in and just joins Kesh. And she has grown, if not accustomed to it, then certainly just tolerant of it.
Look, they're warm.
And Brendan, how does Ereq spend the evening?
The bulk of it may not happen this evening because I imagine relevant stores are closed, but the need to be up to date with ingredients and items has been very relevant. So what Ereq will do is check in with his buddies to consolidate what they do have.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to RP it out or not, but Ereq will ask Julio if he can have the 300 gold Revivify diamond back.
I have
in
that.
case. Yeah, you took it and tried to turn it into dust, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Unsuccessfully.
I would
But
absolutely give it
amusingly.
back. And also, I have a certificate for 100 gold pieces, right?
200.
I think 200, unless
200.
you spent some of it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So I have 500 monies in my inventory. If you go into the shop, I would ask you to take my certificate and a 400 and buy me 2 more diamonds, 300 worth each. So I want to have 2 diamonds of Revivify.
Are they...
So for 3 total?
So
the group
the
has
one that I
3.
had, I'm giving to you.
Yep.
And then I'm giving you enough resources to buy 2 for me.
Okay. So 3 in the party. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
So over the table, not in character, who ended up with the Deathy Dagger? Because I thought Ereq had, and I thought I had written something in my inventory, but I don't see that.
I think you did. I think you said if no one else is taking it, I will.
Yeah, basically you and I were like, oh, well, if the other hadn't picked it up. I think I took it, and then you took it to examine it.
Yeah.
Because I was
Yeah.
like, this is far too dangerous to be left lying around.
It really is.
Yeah.
I
You
think
did
Kesh
say
should
that you
probably
to
have
me-
it.
Yeah.
I would
You
say
did
Kesh
it. You
probably
just-
should have it because Kesh is the official law enforcement officer.
But if Ereq wanted to examine
I'm not
it
asking
anyway.
the DM's opinion. What I'm like, Ereq was the last person. Sorry. I mean,
I would stress that
narratively,
Ereq
that's
often
true.
leans in on the fact that Kesh is an actual law enforcement person.
yeah, yes.
When it suits him to point that out. However, when he doesn't want to acknowledge that because it's actually better for him to not do so.
All I want to know is in the episode last session who ended up with the dagger, and I believe that was Ereq.
Yeah.
If we're gonna swap the dagger into someone else, I think that's something that should be RP'd.
Yeah.
So I'll just make sure that I've got that.
Logically, I would think Ereq would be the logical person to end up with it.
Yeah, I think so.
You
too,
both
based
were
on the
kind of
sequence
dying at the
events.
end there, which overshadowed the dagger thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure did. Okay, I have added that to my inventory. Back in character, I'll say, look, we can get 3 Revivify diamonds if we feel it's necessary. I have had this for about 4 months and have never used it, so I would deign to say that 3 would be sufficient. The other thing that I think, but I'm okay to budge on that. What I think we could afford to use some of those extra funds for would be some more dust, so that I have a feeling that dangers like this aren't going to go away. So being able to do that more than once would be helpful. So I would say maybe 3 more lots of that, which is the same cost of another diamond. As well as some potions. We've been talking about getting some potions for a while. We didn't have the chance before we went to Meadowfen, so that's probably something that we should invest in, just in case we're out of magical healing energy.
Okay, Terrace. And Retrovian Player, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. Yeah. I'd agree. I don't think more than 1 each is really necessary.
And also,
like, since when did I ever manage to kill any of you anyway?
so that everyone knows, this is the pouch right here that I'm putting my diamond in. And when we get one for you, at least one for you, Julio, I think that at least you and I should be aware of where each other's diamonds are.
Yes.
But yes, that was my plan of in the morning, pull our money if you're comfortable for me to do so, and then I can do a bunch of that shopping on our behalf, or we can do that together if you want.
what is the value of the diamond dust you need for greater restoration?
100.
100 gold.
100. In that case, you can take like half of the money that I gave you and just get 3 portions of the dust instead of 1 diamond.
Yep.
So 1 diamond and 3 things of dust?
Yes, and you
Yeah.
get the 3 things of dust.
Yep. That makes sense to me.
Love it.
And then anyone who wants to give me any money, I will use the rest of that. I've got a bunch myself. I can use to buy some potions and things.
Yeah.
I was also going to see if I could find an artificer. I know that, hello, Bron, I know that you're there, but I imagine you're pretty busy. You look like you've got lots of grease stains on you right now.
It's actually
going
oil.
to see if I could. I was going to see if I could find an artificer to maybe see if we can solve the problem of being able to look like we're not wearing armor, but be wearing armor, so that something like last night never fucking happens again. Or
Yes,
tonight.
fair.
I'm so glad I just had Spencer just trotting along behind me holding my fancy bow of the evening.
Yes.
Well, I mean, we have a new friend now who will always be trotting along, at least behind me. His name is Stephen.
Steaming.
Hi, Stephen.
Yeah. Sorry.
Does he speak?
No,
Is it gendered?
no, it. I guess. Yeah. Steeman.
That sounds
Let's
vaguely
know.
bad.
The
Steam.
Steven.
Steam.
Oh.
Steam, because he's hot.
Ah.
Hey, I
He's
mean,
steaming.
if that's what you're into, I won't judge, but
You love
I
the
didn't
hot
hear the
boy.
Bishop
I
Blood
didn't hear the tea
suggested-
very well.
I do
Bishop
love
Blood
the pot boy,
suggested that
that's true.
Steven's full name is Sizzle Until Cooked Even.
Yeah.
I love it. Yes. Absolutely.
So,
Okay. Julio's giving me 600 worth of gold. I've got a bunch of gold. I'll do some shopping before we do anything else because fuck
You
that
want-
shit.
You want maybe 50 more gold?
I will be as respectful as I can.
No, yeah.
50 gold I don't believe is going to make the difference. Although now that I've articulated that, I'm sure God will say, oh, you want this thing? That will be
exactly
X plus 50 gold.
Yeah.
Exactly
It's fine.
50
He
more gold than you
knows
have.
now.
Well, I was going to say, you've probably got a couple of places you could go to get stuff for cost. So, yeah, either the tenders for casting components, like they would have a quartermaster style situation, but you are the boss essentially, well, or good friends with the boss. So you could probably get a slight discount on it. I'd give you 5% off, basically. Because the tenders they aren't selling it for money, they're just buying it in, but they buy in bulk, so you could probably get a slight discount.
And to
You got to
be
flash your
honest,
tender rewards card.
Yeah.
well,
Tender
for the
rewards.
The fifth revivification
It's
is free.
Tender rewards is next to the store called the Soft Gap.
Yeah.
I like to think after you've got enough tender points, you get a tender embrace with your
Yeah.
purchase.
The only thing I would say is, before Viscar left last night, he effectively donated 100 gold pieces worth of diamond dust to you guys.
Which we've
nice.
already burnt through, right?
Yeah, you've already spent it getting Ereq to not die. Yeah, that he wouldn't say pay up, but there would be a strong implication of, if you wouldn't mind chucking a little something towards the charity coffers in the main chapel the next time you're up there, that would be appreciated in a
We're
sort
giving
of
you a new god. What more could you ask for?
I mean,
He was like,
if you
I
buy
very
like
much don't really
3
want this, as you know well.
Yeah,
This
if we
is
buy
me dealing with
3
that.
portions of the diamond dust, we can very well give them 1 and be like, there you go, because we don't really need 3 of it at the same time.
Yeah. Like, you don't need to reimburse. The implication was strongly, look, you guys have done us a solid. Technically, you probably saved Viscar's life just now. Like, a 50 gold donation would probably be more than sufficient. So, like, that sort of thing. If you wanted to keep all 3. If John's 50 was going to go anywhere, he could give it there, donating to that cause if you wanted. Sort of thing.
Like, I donated your gold to charity. Hope that's cool.
And Julio, if
Peace
you're
out.
giving 600 towards the cause, keep 30 for yourself of that, which is 5%. Because
Okay.
Ereq gets you the discount.
Sweet.
And Ereq, similar math for you, with any purchases you wish to make, health potions or revivification or whatever.
Well, let's try and simplify this. Before we go any further, Ereq will also, now in his newly made armor from Bron, which pricks him every time he starts to get ADHD. He would say, well, here's my old studded leather armor. So you can have this. I don't know if you can make something more from it or if you want to try and sell it and get a bit of value, but there you go. That's for you. And then DM, happy to just do a list. Like we've got
sure.
what
What are you
Julio
worth?
had, which is already pretty much accounted for. So
Yeah.
the 1 Revivify diamond and the 3 diamond dusts.
Yep.
I have 420 gold. So has the donation from Viscar been more or less made up, or do I need to make up the rest of that?
Tell you what, why don't you just call it the studded leather? Like,
Okay,
you sell the studded leather and give him the proceeds of having done so.
great, done. So now I've got 420 gold that I want to spend on potions. I want to. I don't know off the top of my head how much potions are worth. For all I know, that is less than 1 greater healing potion.
I would have to look it up, but I will.
Yeah. But
if you send me a wish list in
420
Discord, that sort of thing, yeah.
It's more like I've got 420 gold. Give us a bunch of healing potions, even if they're the lesser ones, and also some exciting potions.
You do know that there is a friendly seller who does good discounts on potions as well. That Trish
was part
Kesh
of my
about.
plan to go. Yeah, nice.
You could go and visit Eliza. She's a friend of the Saviors of Alderheart generally. Yeah, cool. Alrighty. Then shortly after this conversation, Arctic Ruben, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. Sorry for missing you back there. I saw it a little minute ago. Kesh, a message arrives for you at your super secret hideout that an increasingly large number of people know about. Like, I think a lot of people know about it. It's how to get in. They don't know. Is the thing. The following morning, a message arrives from the speaker's chambers for Kesh. Colonel, gather your team. We should chat. I hope mid-morning will suit. After you've eaten and done some shopping, to sort of like, holy shit, we do not need to get caught with our pants down like that again. You presumably...
Oh, actually, if Kesh was going to buy anything, it would be like a 4-armed dagger holder. Like a concealed dagger holder.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, you haven't spent any of your 200 gold piece.
Nah, it's just sitting there chilling.
In which case, knock 20 gold off that, and you have a concealed carry dagger holder with a dagger in it. Why not? It comes with one. Hey, High Lord Scooter. Who does what with the scary fucking void dagger?
I'm gonna hold on to it until it comes up.
Okay. What? You don't know that.
Stephen needs a dagger.
Stephen has a boomstick. Stephen doesn't also need a death
Stephen
dagger.
does not need that dagger.
Before we go to meet someone, Julio, who was kind of like absent-minded and a bit like quiet in the morning, would want to like gather the group for a second and say, guys, I know we're super busy, but I do need to mention one more thing to you. So you know how I was having like dream trips to the death plane recently?
Yes.
So I've had another one today, and that void creature was there again, and it showed me a person who is stuck in the death plane, and that person is Riley. She's not dead, but she's there trapped for some reason. I don't know what to do about this information currently, but I know that I would want to get out of there.
Can we get there?
I don't know. I get there whenever I go to sleep. but I don't know if I can take anyone with me.
And like, but you visit there in a way that you can interact. Like, you know what I mean? Are you there?
I think so. I was
Oi.
in my own body. I was,
You did not
moving where I
interact
wanted.
with anything physically.
I can?
No, you did not.
I didn't.
You,
I don't know if I can.
You
like,
could see
touch
your own
things.
body, but yeah.
I had one thought. I would like to see the body of the assassin we killed yesterday, today, and if we find a way to get to the death plane, I would love to try and get there for her because I don't know how long she'll be able to survive in there.
Julio.
Uh,
No, sorry, carry on.
Yes.
Carry on.
a couple of things come to mind. You gave your eye to that burgeoning death node, so if you're wondering if you are physically transporting there, I would wager probably not. That is probably your connection. Or this eye that you now have, which, by the by, was the reason why I asked the tenders to keep you out of that life node. Not because of you, but because of that.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wish you would, communicate that to me, but that's okay.
In terms of finding a way of getting to the plane of death, do we know in character where Benik and Nemor are? We've talked about it a lot out of character.
No, I don't think so. I don't
Benik
believe Benik said specifically where he was going, and I don't think Nevermore's
he did
letter...
say. I'm pretty sure he did say what they were researching. So,
yeah, he may have mentioned that.
When Benik left for the AVM, he mentioned that he and Nevermore were looking into the death plane, so we could reach out to them and to the AVM and see if that has turned up anything.
Brendan,
Kesh,
can you make me an
weren't you in
Arcana
the-
check?
Yeah.
And
Kesh,
Julio...
weren't you in the death plane as well?
Yes. But I get the feeling that the death plane can be very different depending on where you are in it, how you got there, and why you're there. I think the experience of going there willingly with, like a magical object designed to take you in a certain way to have a certain interaction would be very different from just popping in to see what's happening. Okay.
Kesh, as Julio has already described, that he probably wasn't actually there. It was sort of an astral projection sort of thing. That is very much accurately what you did. You visited, but you never interacted with anything physically while you were there.
Cool. And I don't think I was really physically there. I think I was there, but it was like my body wasn't there, just my consciousness. So being physically present on the death plane, like, can we even do that? Would you not just die?
Well, that's the thing. I feel like that's what's happening to Raleigh. I think she is actually there, kind of in this weird limbo state between being alive and not.
Ereq, your Arcana check.
Yep.
That knife that you've got is a shard of the plane of death.
So it's not so much cursed as punctured by the essence of death and leaking out.
I'm going to keep that to myself, but thank you.
You could use it, like you. There is a manner. You getting this A because you rolled a 24, and B because you are like the world expert on on this shit. You could probably
I could like
use
expand the shard or use the shard as a catalyst to form,
as a door,
but
probably,
not to form a node.
No, but like probably a one-way door.
Okay. Hey, there's a one-way to death. Guess what it involves?
Well, no,
Or
sorry.
we could just kill some people and see what happens.
It would be, yeah, it would be fucked up. But you could open a door to death.
Yeah. I will keep that to myself for now. But
Bishop Blood uses a good phrase actually. Tuning fork.
Yeah. That actually, yeah, that gives me a different idea, which I'm still too low level to cast. Kesh, I don't know if you remember if I was fully revealed the extent to what I was affected, but for most of our trip to the plane of life, I had a really bad time because of my attunement to elemental fire. So us going to the plane of death, I don't think would immediately just kill us, but I would expect it to be very not pleasant. And that our time there would certainly be limited. Similar to when Bennick and I briefly sojourned into the elemental plane of fire, we didn't immediately burst into flames. And actually, for me, it was fairly pleasant.
Bennick didn't struggle there either.
Yeah. And now that I think about it, Bennick was fine there too. I will remind everyone that death sounds bad and evil, but inherently it is not. That having been said, I'm sure that as we've discovered, the planes all have their own level of consciousness and probably their own agendas. And I imagine that if anything living wandered into the plane of death, its agenda would probably be to make us permanent residents. But it's not a physical trip there. I think would be possible. We'll just be very wise to make some precautions. And if you're saying that Raleigh is there, Julio, then I imagine that the plane itself probably has control over what state her life essence is in. If they want to keep her alive for one reason or another, and I can think of one standing right in front of me, it may well be keeping her alive as bait.
She didn't look good, Ereq. She looked like she was fading away.
I'm not saying that we have infinite time and we should just wait. I think that if the plane of death wanted her dead, then she would be dead.
Bennick would have given you at least some insight into his previous adventures. I imagine Ereq may well have asked him, hey, that fireplane trip wasn't that great, but hey, I didn't come out badly singed and I feel like you should have. Why didn't you? They made some amulets that allowed them to live on the plane of fire. Very specifically warding them against it.
Yeah, yes. He did actually, that came up.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it. Yeah.
So we need death proofing, essentially.
Yes. I will pull out the dagger at this point. This Potentially, we could use the essence of this to make, I don't know how many charms it could make, but it could make one a proof against the death plane at the very least. It could also be used as something of a key to get us there. I don't know if it would be able to do both. Maybe it could. That's a little beyond my expertise, is more theoretical.
Who in the Humblewood would be the most knowledgeable about necromantic magic?
I
Probably
mean,
someone from the
we just-
avian.
somebody we've just maybe put in jail for doing,
You are dead set
necromantic
correct. You are
He,
dead set
he did
correct.
do necromancy, yeah.
Because other than that, Lazarus is dead.
Wait, his name's
ironically.
Lazarus.
No. I know, right?
Have we checked his body recently?
Yeah, he's been dead for a while. Nevermore and Bennick are already there. As is Gilda Nightseed with Javier. And the new professor of necromancy at the Avium is a sub. So
A
Leandric
sub.
is as in a substitute.
Or
No,
Dom?
no,
I mean, I don't need to know about their sexual preferences, but
I mean it's
I
canon
would
now.
actually suggest that the expert that we need isn't an expert in necromancy so much as an expert in conjuration. To conjure us elsewhere.
Oh, I mean, also, like, I will just flag that I quite like life magic. So I'm not sure if that's going to make things worse for me. It might.
Your magic may not work as well.
Oh,
There.
good. Maybe
Yeah.
we should leave Stephen at home.
okay. So let's summarize, right? We need to go see where we are being summoned, talk to the people that we just apprehended. I would like to see the body of the assassin that we killed, if we have the time for it. And also might be worth checking in with the Slime King.
Probably couldn't hurt.
No.
Advice,
I-
at least.
I don't expect it to be hugely helpful, but we may as well.
Oh, remember Ereq, your grandma, when we left Humblewood, she gave us, when we left Alderheart, she gave us something that can get us teleported back home. And it's
Yeah,
like one
these.
use, really cool thing.
Yeah.
I wonder if it works between planes. So if he used the dagger to get to the death plane, would we be able to use these things to get back?
I look at mine. Can I intuit that, or roll an Arcana roll, or use my
Roll an Arcana check.
fascia? Okay.
I would like to inspire for this, and now my inspiration is D8.
Hey!
Nice.
Yes.
I will add that D8 to my 13.
Can I help? Or
To
is this a very
15?
different action?
I up to DM if you can help me after I've made the roll, but I would like to use that floating D4 if it's still there.
No, they're gone. They were used to give John inspiration instead.
Okay.
You've got
then
your
I'll use
own.
my D4. I believe that's 18 in total.
18. Anything else? Like I'll allow John to add a 5 flash of genius if you want.
Yeah, sure.
As long as it's said before I give you whether or not it fucking works, I think is the general ruling.
It doesn't actually say that. It just says you can add 5 to a roll.
Oh, well then, if you want to add it, you can. Or do you want me to tell you whether or not the thing is, it's a sliding scale. 18 will give you something. It may not give you everything.
I think it's worth
23. Let's go.
23.
I mean, I was going to say this is an item that I'm looking at, so if you're happy for
And you know it,
John
clap
to
your
be
hands.
helping, then I could roll it again. Because it was like a 13 on the dice.
Oh yeah.
Well, it was a 7 on the dice, actually. But it's up to you how you want to... At the moment, we're on a 20...
23 is a lot. 23 is more than sufficient. Let's just go with that. The short answer is maybe. The longer, more complicated answer is if you tweak them a bit, yes.
Okay.
The even longer answer is this is not the immediate concern. This is not going to be a, okay, let's go today or tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ereq isn't going to voice that to Julio of all people.
No.
Hey, rescuing your
Yeah.
ex is not our immediate concern.
Oh,
Anyone else
did you
can
know
voice
this
that,
person?
Oh, they've met her once, briefly.
Well, we can discuss it in character, I assume, because
Yeah.
Bron doesn't know shit
Nope.
about who
Nope.
we're talking about.
but
Bron's learnt a lot from the play. Actually,
I don't
Bron
think she'd
learned
have
this
been
from the play.
I don't think she'd have been in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I sincerely doubt Riley was in it.
I think that with a bit of tinkering and perhaps with something from this plane to anchor it, these could probably be used to bring us back. But that is, to be honest, one of my lowest priorities concerning the idea of this trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need a reliable way of getting there, a way to protect all of us, particularly Julio, who is greatly attuned to the plane of life, from the death plane's energies. Some way of locating, figuring out where we want to go. Some kind of. Do you have anything that used to belong to Riley that we maybe could use as some kind of compass in conjunction with something else?
Your call.
Yeah, I have one thing that she gave me a long time ago.
Look,
She gave me this, and Julio gets out a tiny little locket that is made out of a tiny like clam seashell, and says she on our first mission together she made it when we were like celebrating on the beach.
Ah,
I think that we could probably find one of the many artifices that we now know to turn that into something that will help us to locate her.
Gabby has made something almost exactly the same before. She could definitely do it again.
Yeah,
Was
you
it-
see
was
just
it
like
Gabby?
Julio
Somebody did.
Julio just like nods along as we walk to the place we were summoned, and just like holds the locket in his hand.
Cool.
So, who's Riley?
Well, you could say in a summary, she's my ex. She was a pirate, as was I. You would, yeah. When I left the orphanage, I kind of fell in with the bad crew and it became a pirate for a bit, and she was there too. And she was my only friend there. And when I left the pirates, we lost contact for a long time. And when I got with this crew, we went to hunt down Scops, my old captain, because he was meddling with sea creatures and was a huge threat. And well, she was there. She was still working with Scops. She thought me to be a traitor, essentially, because I brought people back in with the intent to stop Scops.
Right.
We didn't really have a good conversation there. I tried to explain things to her, but it didn't really work out, and she disappeared, and I haven't seen her since. And now she's in the plane of death.
Wow. I'm sorry to hear that. Wow.
Yeah.
You have lived a full life.
I sure did. Yeah. I don't know if she would be, happy to see me, but
I mean, I'm
whatever.
sure. Compared to the plane of death, come on.
Yeah, whatever the situation between us is, she shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
That's one thing I know.
And you're Julio. You're friends with everyone. Everyone's happy to see you.
Well, not everyone, but thank you, Bron.
I haven't met anyone who isn't.
Well,
I
you'll
think
probably
they
get to
very
meet Raleigh
swiftly
eventually. And she did try to kill Julio a bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just.
At the speaker's offices, you are met at the door by Beneseridan. Kesh, good to see you. I am sad to hear your play did not go as well as you may have hoped.
No, I suppose it didn't. But then again, they were taking great liberties with events as actually occurred. So, maybe it's best everyone doesn't think I'm actually a baker.
Ereq is going
I did want to
harm
clarify
the
that.
bait from Send Me Buns.
Gets glared at.
It's unfortunate. I do like bread.
I can cook, but I'm no.
Yeah, Beneseridan is a servant woman, quite an imposing figure, and I've put a picture of her in chat because I have one prepared. She is the head of the military in Humblewood.
She's the
and
sylph, a servant I'd
Dead
like
set.
to flirt
Dead
with.
set. One-eyed as well. She's very much Julio's bag.
Ooh.
Like twice
Julio's
his.
just straightening the toupee.
She is Julio's muscle mummy for definite.
Yep.
And she and Kesh dead set saved her life. Once she and Kesh have an awful lot of time for each other. She moves aside to admit you, and within you find quite a collection of notables of the Older Heart. Iari, Beta, Privet, and Viscar are in attendance. So 4 of the council members and the head of the local military. Iari says, Aaron, Ginger, and Mentax will be briefed later, but owing to the uncertain nature of last night's events and their goals, we don't want to put more important people in one place than needed. However, I have asked Beta to attend, owing to her previous experience in my role, and Privet and Viscar, of course, were there, so their observations may well be useful. Yes, General, would you mind filling us in on where we're at? And Banner says, of course. So, the surviving orchestra members have been arrested and are being kept, as are Pavoni, Rain Throne Reel, and a wizard we have yet to identify. He has declined to give his name. They are all being detained by the Perch Guard in the Spire, which is pushing its capacity, rather, actually. It's not designed to take so many people. Though only very basic questioning has so far been performed. Many of the orchestra are still unconscious, as is Miss Thousand Eyes. Mr. Throne Reel awakened shortly before I left, about half an hour ago. The wizard is being very stubborn. I believe council member Lee is actually with him. Mostly because he is a wizard and she is also a wizard, so just stopping him from casting any magic. The theater has been has guards at all the entrances, and no one is being allowed in or out. The homes of Rain and Pavoni have also been sort of sealed off pending your investigation. Kesh, this is one I think Spear is uniquely capable of handling. But locking down the homes of everyone involved is frankly beyond our capacity. The guard is operating at it's stretched right now, and well, you know how bad the brigade is struggling too. We are, what with the refugees and rebuilding of Ashbarrow, this is all we have left. So, says Beta, first big question, where did it come from and why? I've been filled in on the event, so I think everybody here knows what happened. So, yes. Elemental.
Well,
Yes?
Elemental, yes. Look, just after the fight, I took the liberty of investigating a little bit whilst the guards were there, just to see if I could find this out, this exact question. And I did notice something interesting. Both Pavoni and Rain, I found substances on them. In different ways. Pavoni had earrings, and Rain had a necklace. Rain had
Like a little amulet, little pouch around.
Yeah, an amulet. Yeah, a little amulet. And they had, I think, they were drugs in them. They were the touch drug. They were the touch drugs.
Listen.
Listen. And,
oh, they were listen.
Well, the listen drugs are all shells. Pavoni had shells in her earrings. Rain had a little pearl that smelt of your tea.
Aha.
It did not make any noise, nor did it feel particularly special.
So, yeah, interestingly, they were quite different. Pavoni had a little shell, which I believe is used for the listen drug. But Rain had...
that stuff.
Yeah. Well, Rain had something different. It reminded me, actually, of... it reminded me of some recent events that we experienced down in the Roots. And the emergence of, some of the magic that happened there just after we cleansed the area.
It was
and
Privet.
I'm going to be looking at... Oh, sorry.
It was Privet who said that stuff. And several of the other people in the room have all looked to him, and he says, "Oh, it's new fad in the Roots. All the youngsters are trying it. But I seem to be sensing a thread here. You found some in the Roots. Now there's more."
We did actually find some listen in the Roots. Yes, and I'm going to be looking very much to Ereq and Julio and Kesh when I'm mumbling through my description of the tree node, seeing if they're if they give any kind of response to yeah, you can tell them, or if they're like, shh. Is there any reaction from either of you?
As in,
I mean,
they
Julio
know
would
about
be-
what the node is.
Yeah, but do we want to tell the others?
I think Julio has already told Viscar at least.
Okay.
So Viscar is one of these are 4 of the 7 members of the Grand Council, and Viscar is one of them.
Yeah,
Viscar would have told them all.
Okay, yeah.
And
They all
even
know.
if he didn't, it
Yeah,
wouldn't be wise of us to keep it out of the councils because they should know.
Cool. Yeah.
They're all nodding along, like yes, yes.
Great, awesome. But then in that case, yeah, I think Bron will just say, yeah, the Rains reminded him of the new tree node magic. Yeah, he's trying to be subtle.
Right. Yeah.
If I may, when we examined these narcotics, in fact, it wasn't even me, it was Julio determined there was a very strong connection to the elemental plane of air, which may not be shocking to those of us who witnessed last night's events. I believe that these narcotics are a way of influencing or communicating with or controlling people, and the other end of this communication is in the plane of air.
Yeah, that
Or
certainly
linked to
makes
it.
sense. And you found these in the possession of several troublesome individuals?
Mm-hmm. In fact, yeah, a lot of people we've run into that have posed issues have, yeah.
So you found some in the node or near it?
The node didn't have anything to do with the drugs necessarily, but when we disconnected the node from the life node, things were going a bit wrong. Yeah, the smell reminded me of something personal, and I assume it reminds everyone of something that's personal to them. And that same smell was coming from what was in Rain's amulet. So I'm not sure if it's a drug or if it's to do with the tree. It's something completely new to us.
To
So
be
these-
clear, the drugs that we found were in the abodes surrounding the node, the to-be death node, not in the node itself.
Right.
Hmm.
So you think Leandric was taking them?
Quite
Yes.
possibly.
And he was not aware that those were drugs. They were given to him, and he just used it willy-nilly.
They were given to him by a bird folk who appeared to be a raptor in a long dark hood. And I will look at grandmother meaningfully.
Another one of them.
And yes, and furthermore, I would not be surprised if,
Servants of
when
Sobel.
questioned, Pavoni was to be seen in the company of a similar individual.
Interesting. Well, I suppose that is absolutely one of the first places you should go as soon as she wakes up. Interesting.
And I wouldn't just describe them as servants of Sobel so much as Sobel may well have been a pawn of theirs.
Well, quite. Privet has his sort of fingers steepled, and he's either grown a lot as a person, or there is undiscovered depths to him, because the man you met like 2 months ago, before he was elected, would not have been this chill in this situation. But he is... So, I've been aware of these in the groups for some time. And the usages, I think, generally seem to be quite harmless, but that's not the inference we should be making. I know we are stretched, General, but would a crackdown on this sort of thing be, not obviously today, but soon, doable? And the General gives a quite possibly. Though you may not get a very positive reaction if it is seen to be harmless and we are seen to be cracking down on it. I would suggest allow Kesh and her team to figure out what it is and where it comes from. They tend to move quite quickly, so before we make any decisions, let us first find out exactly what it is we are dealing with. If you think it is... I am hearing a lot of things, I am sort of still piecing things together, but there was... Sobel and his ilk were related to... The common figure in there is this mysterious figure who is disseminating all these things. I would remind the party that the sale of drugs was being used to fund the cult.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We found a huge stash.
Would you... I'd share that as well, like bring that up. So these drugs are related to the cult, and whoever is making them or bringing them in was assisting the cult, and it is potentially still going on. So, do we think that this was an attempt to kill about half of the council, or to kill Kesh and you. Spear, essentially.
Or, I mean,
Mm.
maybe...
Or both.
Maybe either target sounds. Maybe they just saw a time and place with a whole bunch of targets and went, why not?
I would posit, Mr. Hydecraft, is it?
Hydecraft.
That this event was put together somewhat rapidly.
Oh.
And seems almost perfect. An excuse to get a large number of important people together.
Yep.
Does anyone know when the intention to stage the production was originally announced?
I mean, you were here. You've been in the city for like a month or so, Kesh.
Yeah.
You started seeing posters the day after your meeting with Pavoni.
Yeah, but
5
like
days ago.
But had anyone heard about it prior to that?
Iari would shrug and say, I heard only maybe a week ago.
Because I'd have to book the theatre and everything.
Well, I don't know the ins and outs of it 100%. This is beta.
There's a terrible drought of good theatre in the Humblewood recently.
Funding. It's just always funding.
Well, there is that, absolutely. We are looking to it. It's arts, and it always has to take a back seat, but we are coming up on the gloaming. So it's starting to. We're at the peak, at the beginning of the new festival. But
if the production's budget was funded by the selling of drugs, you could buy priority bookings with that kind of money.
Absolutely. The point I was going to make is that the theatre doesn't run year round. And it's the off season right now, as it were, and the performing company is the sort of the rep company. So they have dibs, as it were. So if they said, you know what, we're going to do a play, no one's going to really stop them. We're not overburdened with traveling, performing troops in the Humblewood right now. And Antics and Rolls, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. Once you're in the voice,
I would put forth that Kesh, as humble as she is, there are probably very few public events that she would agree to go to, and a performance dedicated to her is something that I think even she would really struggle to find an excuse not to go to. So
yeah, they pretty much cornered me into it.
I think that Kesh, and perhaps us, but primarily Kesh as the head of Spear, is probably the prime target here, and everyone else present was just a bonus.
I think you're probably right. I think, without a small amount of arrogance, I think the bonus was a big bonus. We have the head of the church, the head of the new church. I think Kesh, but it was also the story of Ereq Ashbourne and Julio Swinskier.
It was pretty much a perfect excuse to get anyone vaguely important into that theatre.
The body of the assassin, I might be able to glean more information out of it.
Yes.
So we know who exactly was the target of the assassination.
Yes.
And why.
Well, on that, I think this would be a good point to end the briefing, unless anyone has anything else they want to bring up. It would seem to me Kesh, you are the head of Spear. You have the authority to basically look into this however you choose, and I presume these three are your team, as it were, and so they also have that authority.
Well, I suppose
The place I'd
First thing I
start.
want to do is talk to anyone who's conscious.
Well, the place I would request you start, and I think General Sheridan would agree, would be the Palladium. Look at the scene of the crime first, so that we can actually then unlock it and free up an awful lot of soldiers. Only two of the there aren't a huge amount of them awake yet, or at least they weren't. So possibly have a quick scout out there and then see where you're at, and then head on and do some questioning. The body is being held at the spire as well, I believe. So that's your second stop for the day. And General Sheridan says, I have only one more point. I heard there was mention of a curse.
Oh, yeah. The assassin had a very, very nasty knife on him that kind of basically keeps hurting you after it's stopped hurting you. Fortunately, we were able to ameliorate the effects before either of us died, but safe to say neither Ereq or I are keen to be stabbed with it again.
And
Ereq
we
and
have
Kesh.
taken some measures to prevent that from happening again.
Ereq and Kesh notice, because your passive insights are both quite high, that Viscar is looking studiously not at either of you. But Privet would say, is there an elemental alignment on that blade?
It is less of a blade and more of a shard of the elemental plane of death.
Oh,
And, like, as one. No, actually not as one, because Viscar doesn't. He's just slightly behind them, like, oh, yes, what a shock, yes. But the rest of them sort of, oh. Like, Iari has a particularly visceral reaction to that. But there is general consternation of, okay, we've just dealt with the plane of fire, and now the plane of air, and you fucking death. Fuck, okay, alright. Is the general sort of, oh, god damn it, now there's two of them. Yes. So, okay, good. Well, then I think speed, time is of the essence, Colonel.
Yes. Whoever is behind this, they have some considerable magical weight that they're able to bring to bear.
Yes.
And obviously, the sooner we can take them out of the picture, the better.
Well, we shall leave
we
you to
never
it
got
then.
to see the second act either.
A shame, I'm sure.
They only had a week to write it. There probably wasn't one. That's probably why they decided to attack us.
Oh yeah,
when
they
did.
had to blow
Yeah.
up the theatre so that we wouldn't find out they didn't finish the show.
Just to save face.
Classic actors.
Petty actors.
Okay, you get
Sorry,
up.
the dog's kicking me and
You get up and go. As you get up to leave, Iari says, "Oh, Ereq, dear, that package you asked for arrived this morning. It's outside with my assistant. And good luck."
Right. Yes, thank you. Thank you, all of you.
And I think we'll have a quick little breaklet there. And Ereq, outside you find a parcel. It's quite heavy, and it takes up about the size of a backpack. Yeah. And it clanks gently when you hold it. And yeah, we'll have a short little breaklet there. Back in 5 to 10, everybody. Say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Avast and ahoy, mateys. We'll be back for a little bit more Humblewood. So, the gang is heading on over to the Alderheart Palladium. Ereq has just picked up a large and heavy package. You've got a large and heavy package, Ereq.
This is really quite heavy. Bron, would you mind?
yeah, sure. I'm not super strong myself, but a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and pull off some of that wrapping for me?
Because that would be opening it.
Yes.
Oh,
Please, why don't you open it for me?
okay, cool. I guess I'll open it then.
You open it, and within inside is a suit of plate mail. Very classy, very fucking shiny. I am gonna let Brendan describe it, but my vibe is rather. No, I'm gonna let Brendan describe it. Why am I even beginning? Yeah.
Think plate mail, because I don't know how to describe that. And then on top of that, I think that it has feather-like designs with the shoulders coming out in a feathered kind of manner, not like individually, but more over the top way than you'd typically expect with pauldrons. Like if you were in a crowded space, you'd need to be careful how you turn around so that you don't blind someone. And there would probably, it's probably just the plate rather than the helmet. But yeah, there would be, a lot of it would be carved to have that kind of design as well. And there would probably be, I mean, bird folk and their relationship with wings is kind of complicated in the Humblewood, but I imagine there are probably some wing-esque protrusions, slight protrusions in the back as well.
The upper arm area would not have any protection at all because it needs to be free for feathers. However, there would be a sort of a forearm bracer on both arms. It would also have, it would go down to the knee. What I was going to say was think elves at Helm's Deep. Was the rough idea I had in my head. But with wings instead of leaves, I think. Or with feathers instead of leaves. Seems to be what Brendan's describing.
It's got pizzazz.
It's definitely got, I think, gold detailing. It's a showy suit.
Wow.
Bishop Blood asked, is it
like
blackened?
it's like the white gold.
Yeah.
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 So what was that from
would
Bishop
it be
Blood?
blackened?
No. It would have the crest on it, the house crest on the chest, which would be, if not black, then a deep blue.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah.
This is shiny.
It's yours. It is an official gift to you. Let's call it a learner if you like, but from House Shadow Malt.
Real? This is what? Why? This is beautiful.
Yes, and
people gonna hit it if I wear it.
Well, look at me. I'm not. I can't wear that, and so it. As you say, it's very beautiful. Why shouldn't it be displayed? And who better to display it on? Look at the three of us. We're all little weaklings. Do you think Julio could wear that? Julio could sleep in it.
Yeah, there's not enough space for my boobs there, so I wouldn't.
There's no room for melons. Be reasonable, Bron.
Wow. So this is going to break Bron's brain a little bit, for reasons that you guys. Well, actually, Julio knows. Oh, and Karen knows. Kesh probably doesn't. But yeah, I think this is going to 100%. Like this part of his brain is kind of been a little bit removed with magic. So I think it's going to break his brain to understand this. He loves it. This is amazing, but I don't think he has anything more to say. He's just shocked. This is probably the best thing he's ever been given.
That is very fancy.
Yeah. Yeah, that look on Bron's face, that means he thinks it's very cool.
It was nothing. don't think twice about it.
Where your average plate mail is what, $2,000, this would be 5.
Damn.
And it's fit to a bird folk. It's gonna need some custom work doing to make it work for a Vulpin, but
Vulpin of all the humble folk is probably the closest anatomically.
size-wise, absolutely, and anatomically, yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And I'm more than happy to help you out where I can to make it more suitable fit for you.
Are you sure? Wait, but I'm gonna have to alter this.
That's fine.
Really?
Yep, you just have to survive for as long as you wear it, so that when we're done, you can alter it back.
Okay.
This is cute.
It's just like the what is it? The medical tone, like boo.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah.
Zoom into Bron's brain and it's just static. Please
Um,
stand by.
I'm gonna tear away the packaging and bundle up and say, I don't know what the next order of business was, but there's something that I would like to discuss at the tender hall. So would it be possible for us to meet up later? I assume that people are going to do some interrogations.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Do you want me there, or
The order of business as proposed was you go to the Palladium first, and then you can go and do your investigation, your interrogations.
Yeah.
But either way round works.
okay? Well, I can join you all at the Palladium and then branch off from there.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
fine.
The Alderheart Palladium has a very different aspect today. As a public structure, it has taken, a full platoon of guards to cordon it off. Signs of the mass exodus last night are everywhere. Discarded food packaging, flyers, and programs litter the space outside as serious soldiers eye passers-by suspiciously, though none seem willing to go too close. The lieutenant in charge is a different lieutenant than last night, admits you all, relaying that no one has been in or out since the last bodies were removed last night. Colonel, the final count was 34, and she then says that when she says that, rather, the guards around her seem to radiate like cold fury, which would make it the worst such attack within the history of the city in over a century. Even the bandits didn't get civilians within the walls. And
Wow.
she says that and then seems to remember who the fuck she's talking to.
Well, we weren't really trying to in our defense. I don't know why I'm defending
well,
that.
let me know when you're done, sir, and I'll send in the cleanup teams.
Kesh is like, oh, well, if we wanted to, we could so many more people.
They
Like,
didn't.
you
They
can-
didn't not kill civilians. They absolutely did. Kesh was not involved, but it absolutely happened. But not within the city.
But yeah, we weren't trying to sneak into the town and blow up a
No.
theatre.
But however, there was an incident that Kesh again was not involved in. That happened right outside the gates of the city, where a whole bunch of refugees were killed.
Yeah, I was not. I did not condone that.
Yeah, the defenders of Alderheart did put a stop to it. The main foyer is a mess. Any freestanding furniture has been knocked over, and a good amount of food and drink has been spilled. The auditorium beyond has changed little, aside from lacking any people. Again, scorch marks along the wall, as well as like burst and rupture marks, and a fair amount of blood. What do you do? Cash has already had a pretty thorough look around in here as well.
I would like to check out Pavoni's dressing room.
Ooh,
Yep.
The
In my quarters,
backstage,
actually.
the backstage area is a convoluted labyrinth of dressing rooms, costume stores, rehearsal areas, and ropes. The fly tower stretches 60 feet above the stage and contains 6 scenescapes. The green room still has a large bowl of boiled sweets, which is about half full. And the main dressing room occupies the central space, with 4 smaller dressing rooms to either side, and then loads of stairways, and it's a really complicated, convoluted area. But the main dressing room area you find relatively easily just beyond the green room. You are welcome to make... if you want to go specifically to Pavoni's dressing room first...
yes, I do.
Then, Kesh, you can make me an investigation check. Well, but no, you figure out what door it is, basically. There are 2 on either side of the room. One is labeled RG, it's sort of handwritten. 2 of them have the star on it. One says Mr. Thronereel, and the other says Madam Maybuck. And so the 4th, by a process of elimination, is probably Pavoni's, because
Cool.
RG are not her initials.
I will open the door, but I will stop to have a look before I step in.
It's yes. Pavoni's room is a lot. There are dozens of mirrors on every wall, many not much larger than a coaster. And still more stand free. A clothes rack in the corner holds the green dress she was in before the show, though it's been slung over very casually rather than hung neatly on a hanger like such a garment would normally be. Yeah, it is alight with imagery in here. There is loads and loads and loads of mirrors, hundreds, literally hundreds of small mirrors or mirrored surfaces.
DM, can I have spent the last 10 minutes and maybe some change do ritual casting detect magic, please?
Yep,
I
absolutely.
would have accompanied Kesh.
Yep. This whole place it's hard to, there is so much of it, it's hard to pin down exactly where, but air magic all over the fucking place.
Oh, it's like a UV light. There's air all over the place.
Pretty much. The main dressing room contains over a dozen dressing tables in 3 rows. One side is clearly cast, the other is orchestra. Delineated by costumes strewn about, spilled makeup, and pieces of script, but like very neatly only on one side. The other side, which is the side where you guessed Pavoni's dressing room would be, is cases just everywhere, like instrument cases, just but yeah, significantly neater. Within the room that Kesh is looking into, Ereq, it is... If you were looking at it with a black light, it would be just glowing. Elemental air magic.
Okay, cool. Just for the record, I'm happy to leave the more investigatory stuff to Kesh. I just want to kind of supplement it, complement it with if there's any magic stuff that jumps out.
Yeah. So are you both standing at the door looking in?
Yeah, basically I want to suss out whether, like, if anything's gonna, like... Is anything gonna, like, be triggered if I walk into this room?
These are not big rooms. Okay. You could probably fit 3 people in them comfortably. It's very much the star, their dresser, and their stylist. Ideally not all 3 at the same time. So an even cursory examination, the door opens inwards, so there's no tripwire or anything. There is no obvious traps in here.
Okay.
With my detect magic, I'm keeping an alert for evocation magic. If I pop any of that, please let me know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, my eyes are basically glowing with fires, and I will give Kesh the okay that there's no magical traps.
Can you both make me wisdom saves, please?
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Bum bum
What?
bum.
It's okay.
just to make
Cash, everything is
sure.
perfectly safe.
Where are we at this point?
That's
I
a
don't know. Where
12.
are you? A 12? Yep.
Like, if they
With my
die,
plus
where
9,
are
I've
we,
got a
Bron?
14. 13.
Oh, Bron
I
is
figured you
examining
were
the
all in the
sweets.
green room.
Okay.
Or the dressing room. There is a bowl of sweets. Bron is examining that.
Okay.
I would
Hey.
like to cash in my inspiration, please.
Smart. Do that. Karen also has an inspiration and a D4. Just saying.
Oh. I might use my inspiration then. I feel like this is important.
Yeah.
Boom bam, baby. That is a 22.
There you go.
Nice.
Yep, a 22 and a 23. You both pass. Tell you for free, a 12 and a 13 did not.
Yeah.
No.
Wait, did we both get exactly 10 more than our previous rolls?
Yes.
Nice.
Amazing.
Cool. Yeah. For a few moments, Kesh and Ereq, as you look into this room, the world seems to spin around you, and then you sort of manage to shake your head off, shake it off, and yeah, Ereq, looking in, these mirrors are the source of a form of elemental air magic.
Okay.
There is also a pile of it coming out of the bin, and another in the drawer of the desk.
I am going to carefully open the drawer to see what is inside.
If within the drawer you
Hey,
find...
Would you mind? Can you control where your darkness goes? Can you put a globe of darkness in the upper half of the room by any chance?
I mean, as long as I can sling the amulet up there, I guess. Can I climb up there or something?
It's really
It's
not
just
a
to
big
block the
room.
mirrors.
No,
It's
I can
fine.
hold
It's
it
just
up.
a dumb thought.
Just
Kesh's
don't look
working her
directly
magic.
at them.
Like, the
Yeah.
radius of the darkness would encompass the entire fucking space. The room is 15
Okay,
foot
don't worry
square.
about it.
Like,
Oh, okay.
neat
yeah,
idea,
fair enough.
but I love it, but no.
The entire room just goes pitch black, and we're just like, oh, for
So,
God's sake!
I'm just
Sorry.
trying to find ways for your darkness to be useful.
Kesh,
Oh,
in
aren't we
the
all?
drawer is a large number of little sacks.
You don't say. I will very carefully open one.
It's shells.
Ah, this room's full of drugs. I'd like to look in the bin for the other source.
Crushed shell.
What was she snorting it? What the hell?
You don't have this information, but Ereq, it's the potency is significantly less in the bin. There is, and it's not like a little. It's like someone had taken 3 dozen boiled eggs, taken the shells off, and then crushed it down. It's a lot, you know. It's a couple of handfuls of dust. But it's powdered shell.
An actor's
rather than...
dressing room full of drugs. This reminds me of an actor's dressing room.
Hey, Dak.
Yes, but normally they stick to, a little smoking, not literally bags and bags of shell-based elemental craziness.
This
Can I
looks like a
can I do a
dealer's room.
quick look at some of the orchestra's instruments and see if any of them are coated in this shit?
You may roll me an investigation on the sort of the orchestra area. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bron, you
because
may
if
well-
she has all that, she might have been using this for controlling him. Ooh, that's a 26, baby.
26. Julio, the main dressing room contains sorry, what was it? A 23?
26.
26. All right. You find 15 pouches of the same stuff.
Holy shit.
Not just on the orchestra side, there are some, but not as many on the cast side. It would seem that there was a lot more in the orchestra, however, and in a couple of small places you find, again, bit piles of crushed shell, but like nowhere near as much. Just like someone had taken a shell and crushed it and sort of threw it away.
Okay. So this would convey to me that the orchestra has been using drugs,
Yeah.
What?
But not
musicians
as-
using drugs?
but not as much as the cast.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well,
Bron, you're
guys, if we
probably
want to give
onto
up this life of
something.
law enforcement and become drug dealers, I think we just hit the mother load.
Wow.
Yeah, if Paverni was orchestrating things, and pun not
Yeah.
intended, then it wouldn't surprise me if she was the supplier of all the rest of the cast and orchestra
Hmm.
Am
to
I
keep them
able?
under wing.
Am I able to make a rough guess, given my look inside one of the bags and how many bags there are in the drawer? Would I be able to make a general guess as to how much drug is she packing?
Probably somewhere in the region of 500 doses.
Wow, that's
Holy
a lot of
shit.
drugs.
A pouch,
Um,
as in there are 15 pouches. Each one would have 3 or 4 shells, each of which would be a dose.
Is there like a newspaper in Old Hot? Because this would be like busted cartel of drugs.
Yeah, I need to be.
spear
I need to be
reports.
photographed in front of the pile of drugs with like my bow.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Full super
Well, I
troop, is
mean-
it?
At the
Taken
very
right
least.
before Kesh rolls around in all the drugs.
Yeah, Kesh is white.
GIF of Kesh
Elmo.
snorting. You know.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, at the very least, this is some very good blackmail material. If we're gonna go visit Pavoni, this is a big lever.
I'm sorry, but she's already in there for attempted murder. I don't think having
Yeah.
drugs
Who cares about
will
drugs?
And
really-
dealing. That's
I
another
mean,
3 more life
If she
sentences.
needs any more, yeah.
Yeah.
And jaywalking, yeah.
But
Bitch
this
is
won't
never getting
directly
out of jail.
affect her, like her image, which I assume
Hmm.
is going to be
DM,
important to her.
What is the state of security of the Older Heart at this stage? Is it semi-locked down because of all the recent bullshit that's happened?
No, because the recent bullshit isn't that recent.
Yeah.
Other than Leandric, which is very much a sort of a minimal local matter. No, everything's actually loosened up significantly and very much on purpose.
So what I'm trying to determine is whether I think this sheer volume, which is not the extent of all the drugs we've seen, this sheer volume, how likely it is to have been imported versus been more likely to have been made or conjured within the city.
You know that a member of the cult, a sort of a senior member of the cult, ran a shipping concern. You know that the cult was funding itself with drugs. That some of the drugs you found, that was the place you found it was a sort of a bandit, well, no, a criminal hideout. They wouldn't be storing large quantities there. That would be a distribution point. Probably not the only one, and you did find quite a bit there. Like the bag there you found was big, and I think you found 2 of them. So they're not this much, but probably 300 doses worth at that place. The amount, however,
So-
it's still in sort of big enough that you could hold it in 2 hands, sort of in a bag. You could manufacture that locally if you wanted to. How you manufacture it, given that it is linked inherently to the plane of air, however, it is entirely likely that it comes from there, would be your best guess.
Yeah, so the question is
How's it getting in?
it conjured directly here, or is it conjured to another place and then shipped in? I will convey that information, which basically is inconclusive for that answer, but say, based on the Wintervale's connection to the cult, and we know that the cult was dealing some of this stuff, it would be fairly trivial for this amount to have been brought in. Who knows if it is still actively being brought in, whether this is still the cult at work and people didn't get the memo that they're worshipping a false god, or if it's people who are taking advantage of the cult's resources, or if people don't care about what the cult was worshipping and have abandoned ship for a different cause by using the same infrastructure.
Or, people just like getting high.
It's a pity we can't set these two against each other. Get the plane of death attacking the plane of air, and just then we can watch.
Who says we can't?
I like this.
Are you going to check out any of the other rooms? There is...
The other dude who had that amulet was Rain, yes?
Yes.
His dressing room.
Yep.
Does he have a stash of pearls?
The dressing room is filled with bouquets of flowers. It is, hard to get into because of the amount of fan mail he's gotten. And there's a bottle of champagne in it and now lukewarm ice bucket. It, however, doesn't contain... you can please roll me an investigation check. There is something to find, but it's not necessarily what you're looking for.
Does my drug vision, my...
Actually, no, on this room. This room is weirdly clean.
19.
A 19.
It's fairly clean, Kesh.
Kidding, it's full of flowers.
I mean, yeah, your allergies will be going nuts, but... the only thing you find in here of any significant note is his copy of the script. Which is only odd because it's blank after the first page.
I'm going to snatch it from Kesh.
After the first page?
Yeah, the first page is, as you recall, it was the opening song. Kesh sang it. But after that, it's just blank. Numbered pages, but there's just nothing on them.
That's weird.
So is it invisible ink, or did the lazy bastards not finish the show?
Invisible ink would be magical. Ereq ain't getting any magic from it.
He just didn't fucking bother. That's great. That's so funny.
But they did such a good job.
If this is true, then they are fantastic improvisers.
Yeah. I thought they did a great job of
There were songs. There were
Kesh's
improvised
life.
songs.
Wait, you mean the wedding?
Yeah.
Did you even go to that?
Oh yeah, we went.
John, you already have all the rewards, so I can't give you inspiration, but I would otherwise. You have advantage on your next roll.
Nice.
I feel I've been lied to. Did he go to the wedding or not?
I would like to search for other copies of the script, if any exist.
With your 19, you look into Griselda Maybuck's room. A single but impressive bouquet of lilies occupies half the dressing table. In a simple vase, a rack of costumes runs along the other wall. Kesh was never seen in the same costume twice throughout the show, and a set of casual clothes are heaped upon the floor. With the 19, you do find a full script with all the words. However, it doesn't match the play you saw very well.
Huh. Is there a date on it?
No. It would seem to be the final copy. It's like it's printed nice. And Karen, this would have to be a new role because it's analysis. I think a straight intelligence, unless you can make an argument for, you're analyzing a script, I don't think there's anything particularly skills-wise. Performance, maybe?
I'd rather just...
Yeah.
animal handling.
I'd rather do a straight intelligence.
Go on,
to
do
be
that.
honest.
You know, what's the incomplete skill?
7. So I might burn my D4 to see if I can get a bit more juice on that, because that's fucking disappointing.
Did you make this check in Bron's vicinity?
9.
You would have made this check in Bron's vicinity.
I will give Kesh
5.
another D8 to put on this.
Makes it if John, you can't really inspire after the fact, but yeah, John can definitely give an extra 5 to it and makes it 14. The bits that were performed by Griselda Maybuck.
Oh, wait. I can give it until you give
Don't worry, she's got it.
result. No?
Don't worry about it. She's figured it out.
Okay.
She's got it. Yeah, it's all good.
Oh no, just for the future. Do I
Okay.
need to give it before the roll or?
I don't remember.
Okay, I'll look it up later.
yeah.
Thank you.
The normal use of bardic inspiration, you have to give it before. I don't know
Yeah.
if
Okay.
yours is different.
Yeah. Yes. Griselda Maybuck's performance would seem to have been pretty much bang on the script she had. However, other scenes that she wasn't necessarily in, particularly bits with Rain Thronereel in them, did not match anything written in the script significantly. There was some very off-script, including some songs. It was actually, looking through it, you're like, Kesh was supposed to be on a lot more. She was really just written in so she could go and get costume changes, and all the bits in between were really just that. Yeah, Griselda Maybuck wasn't on as much as she should have been, according to the script that's in her dressing room.
Was she on during the fight? Do we know what happened to her?
When the thing went boom, the only person on stage was Rain Thronereel.
So presumably Griselda made a speedy exit.
She
All
has
her
been
bodies here.
she has been detained.
Oh, I assumed she had
Oh.
been, but yeah,
Oh
I
no,
assumed
sorry,
she just...
no, she hasn't been detained. What am I talking about? She hasn't been detained. She's not. You could probably find her, but she was not detained as a suspect.
We should
seeing
probably
as-
talk.
You probably should.
Oh.
In one.
Where's the?
There's one thing though, because Ereq's detect magic is still going. There is a small puff of elemental air magic coming from the top of her dresser, and it's a little pouch.
Kesh up there.
I will retrieve the pouch and carefully open it.
And
You're good at this, Ereq.
It
I've got an eye for it.
It contains half a dozen shells and a note in a very fancy handwriting. Says for the after party. And then there is a P, and the P is drawn in the stylized shape of a peacock feather, like the beginning of someone's signature.
This is definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Also, quick question. Who's the little ingenue that was playing Julio?
I don't know if I ever named her, but yeah, she would have been in the main cast area.
Is she also apprehended, or like was she on when the attack
No,
was?
the stage was held only by Rain. He was having his big
Okay.
aria.
And she just presumably was like left out, or is held for questioning.
All the people who were actively involved in summoning an elemental were taken into questioning that survived. That has already extended the perch guard to their maximum in terms of keeping people for questioning. Everybody else has been allowed to go to their own recognizance, but I think if any of them were to leave the city, they would probably be detained. However, they were all just said, look, go home, check in with your families, everything like that. We may well have questions for you in the morning, sort of thing. So if any of them do go missing, that would probably be suspicious, but you know where to find them if you want to.
I would like to flick to the end of the script to see what happened at the end of the show.
The finale of the script is a fanciful reenactment of the battle with the elemental in the main square outside the Senate chambers, where the roles of Julio and Kesh are reversed, and Kesh is the one going one-on-one with the elemental up in melee, while Julio picks up Kesh's bow and shoots the killing shot. With a huge declamatory "for the older heart," and unleashes the shot that brings it down. It dodges it, and then Kesh is obliged to pick up the arrow and stab it in the arse with it. And that does it.
Nice.
Well, in case anyone's wondering, it ends with me stabbing an elemental in the ass with an arrow.
Is that
Why didn't we see that?
what happened?
Yes.
What?
I mean,
Pick one.
Sort of.
well, actually, most elementals don't have anuses.
Yeah.
Fair.
Where did you
Well-
stab it?
Stabbed it in the general back region, then, I guess.
General back region.
Lower battle.
That's good.
Just in the small of the back.
Huh.
It's Colonel back region currently. She needs a
Oh
promotion.
man, is it bad that I'm like, I would never join the military, but if I did, the urge to legally change my name to something that would sound increasingly comedic.
Sergeant
I mean,
Mayhem.
Private Schlink is pretty
Yeah.
good.
Private Schlink is very good.
Yeah.
Lance
And
Corporal
General
Schlink's
Schlink?
kind of funny.
Commanding Schlink?
Major Schlink.
Ooh, a major
yeah.
Schlink.
Yeah. They do have.
I think
yeah.
you're set for your career in the military.
Oh, they would never fucking take me unless they're really desperate.
The only other room you
We're
haven't.
not here to Schlink shame. Can we move on, please?
Very nice. The only other room you haven't checked out is the one with the initials RG, and it's a little odd because there isn't another star to occupy the other dressing room.
Is that
Definitely
maybe a
worth
wizard?
looking.
Um,
Conductor?
The last private room was given to the orchestra's wizard.
There we go.
The initials are G on the door. The room is simple and bare. A used teacup sits on the dressing table, but in all other aspects, the room seems devoid of habitation, even a change of clothes or a bag.
Can I see if there was maybe some magical room stuff going on, like my rope trick?
Oh, interesting. That Ereq's detect magic would presumably pick that up.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll leave this to
I just don't waste the spell slot because no is the answer. Although, Bron, do you want to make me an investigation check, seeing as you
Ereq wouldn't have been looking for extra planar spaces.
That's true.
I can point that out to him.
Yeah.
Any extra planar spaces hanging about in this old theatre room?
With advantage. Yeah, oh, thank goodness, because one of them was a 4. So 13 plus 5. 18.
Oh, cool. Right. Don't know why. Okay. Good. So, yes. This room, with an 18, there is no drugs. There is... You would say there are signs that this somebody has been in here, has used this room on and off for about a week, but has deliberately left no trace, or as little trace as possible. The bin is spotless. Probably more spotless than it would be normally. Like, it has been deliberately emptied. The teacup, who gives a shit? But that it's sort of... Yeah. Oh, they drink tea!
I found a new drug!
Yeah, that's
It's
taste. Yeah. Yeah. So it is very much has been deliberately all traces have deliberately been removed. There is no bags or anything. So yeah, this person, the inhabitant was not intending to return.
Bron's pretty cluey as well. I'm gonna say that Bron's gonna say that there's no trace of anything and point all of this information out, and then maybe suggest that maybe the assassin was using it. I mean, wizards generally, they can be careful.
I was going to suggest that both the assassin and the wizard were mercenaries and had no great attachment to the company.
Because this, it looks like a very concerted effort to not leave anything behind. And if they were a normal conductor, I wouldn't have assumed that was their behavior.
Yep.
Yes.
And in fact, the wizard showed cognizance and actively tried to flee from Kesh and I. So that shows signs that they didn't have the same level of devotion as the others.
They weren't prepared to die for this.
Yeah. The assassin
Which is an
fought to the death.
important distinction. Because the assassin, nothing was going to stop him from trying to do this.
Yeah.
But the wizard was like, it ain't going well.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Speaking of the assassin, if we are done here, I could take just a little bit of time to see what's up with the body.
Can you all please make me perception checks?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
22. I see.
24.
24.
13.
Hey, look. Oh! Ereq. 24 was the number you needed.
Ooh.
There is the patter of paws as you come out of the room, the wizard's room. There is the patter of paws running away down a set of stairs. Sorry, up a set of stairs, around the corner.
Someone's running that way.
Sprint.
I want to turn into an animal or a bug with a fast speed.
Very well.
Probably some kind of flying bug.
Cricket.
Sure. Oh, something really upsetting? A flying cockroach.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
upsetting.
gross.
Yeah, valid.
Nice. Julio has dash and a cunning action dash, I think, if I'm correct.
Oh, can I Misty Step to get a head start?
You certainly can. So basically, this is going to be a skill challenge chase sequence, and the being you are chasing will be rolling with a +9 acrobatics. So chat will be rolling them for me, but everything you do to sort of run after it, you have to be able to see where you're going, Kesh, so I will give you an extra. Basically, it's 20 feet ahead of you. Every point you beat its score by, you catch up a foot. Kesh, I will give you 10 feet of Misty Step to catch up 10 feet. You appear at a corner and you witness a tawny tail and a dark cloak whip around the corner, heading up a spiral staircase, aiming for the stage. We're not going to be in turn order, but you guys can tell me what you're going to do, and then I'll roll for their movement. And so Daria, you basically athletics or acrobatics to.
I would go with acrobatics if I can.
To
Can I
dash
tell
after this guy.
what type of humble folk this is, or bird folk?
From the glimpse of a tawny tail, your guess would be the tail is too narrow to be Mapatch or Vulpin. They both have broader, sort of fluffy tails. Hedge don't have tails. Servant tend to have very short tails, and Jabin normally have quite long mouse-like or rat-like tails. This ain't any of those. This looks like and you don't know very many of these, an Ellurin.
And that's a kitty cat?
Cat, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mistress Iskander was an Ellurin, as was one of the members of the orchestra.
Yeah. So I'm trying to catch up using my cunning action dash. I rolled 19 altogether.
19. Very well. Can I get a D20 rolled in chat? Exclamation mark roll space the number 20.
And to whoever goes next after me, I will give them a D8 inspiration.
Ooh, love it. Julia Flickcog. No. Best character that never was. Yeah, no. A 20. That's a 9. Okay. Julio, you catch up a foot. You are slightly faster than this guy. Bron, what do you do?
Bron is not fast. And so I think Bron is going to realize that his best action... Who looks the fastest out of the three of the others?
Well, Julio is fucking nippy. Ereq is in the process of transmorphing into a flying cockroach, and Kesh just fucking disappeared in a puff of smoke. So both of them all three are fairly nippy.
I'm going to cast haste on Julio.
Hell
and
yeah.
double their speed. And
Julio, roll it again.
So, like, speed doubled, and you can take another action, which can be another dash.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I will do so. Acrobatics,
Poor
please be
fucker
better
isn't
this
gonna
time.
get anywhere.
Nah.
Oh, 23.
23. All right, cool.
Joe just barrels into it.
Yeah, Julio, you are no more than 5 feet behind this guy at this point. His cloak is flapping out behind him. Kesh, you running?
Yep. I run.
Athletics or acrobatics?
Definitely
know.
acrobatics.
Why you are not auto-scrolling. Very irritating.
That is a whopping 14.
You have D8.
Why? Why are you being like this?
Oh, yes.
You do have a D8.
I will use it.
And a D4 if you want.
Oh, I already burned the D4.
Did you?
Yeah.
2. 16. You are about
That's not
13 feet behind him. Julio is very close, though.
I'll also Hunter's Mark, if I'm allowed to.
Yes, you can. Oh, what am I doing?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, you cannot lose this guy now.
Sweet.
And Ereq, you can use acrobatics with the dexterity of the creature that you turned into, but no obstacles. I'll give you advantage on the roll, basically.
Well, I would have observed everything that's happened up to this point, right?
Yep.
So I feel like having done so, I would think that almost anything, me chasing would be pretty redundant. So if I still have visual on this person, then I would cast plant growth ahead of them to slow them down. To allow
nice.
Julio to catch up.
I don't know if you ever even got visual of them. You heard them. It was Julio and Kesh who saw him.
I think that what I will do then is I will see Kesh and Julio gearing up. I will see a cloud of smoke that looks like Julio.
Yep.
And then
Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Arriba!
match up, pair up with Bron, and just casually walk around the corner, confident that I'll find them all.
Right.
I forgot Bron's also carrying the armor in his arms, so Bron's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Bron's carrying the armor on like in a backpack over one shoulder, and he's got the bowl of sweets. And he offers one to Ereq as you just casually walk after this poor bastard who's running away from you. Back to the top again. Julio, you are hasted, so dash.
Yeah, I'm gonna be dashing all the way. Do I roll acrobatics again?
Yeah, acro with advantage.
With advantage, lovely. Oh, that's a 27.
27. All right. I don't think this guy's going to get away, but Marco Dasune, if you wouldn't mind, exclamation mark roll space the number 20 in chat, please. Or exclamation mark acrobatics, Either way, the thing will be the same. Well, that should have done it. 13. Weird. Marco doesn't appear to be allowed, but Shanahos did very well. A 22 all up. That catches you up the remaining 5 feet. Julio, you barrel into this poor bastard. Yeah. He tries to shake you off. You are just going up and up and up some stairs. He's trying to get up to the fly tower. Yeah, Kesh, you've reached him. Kesh, what do you do? Seeing as the other two don't seem that engaged with the chase element of this.
So I'll see Julio grab this person.
Weird.
Let me think.
As I'm grappling them, I try to, using their cloak, hood, pull it over their face.
Oh.
So they stumble, can't see, and I'm like, stop resisting, you're under arrest.
Yeah, I don't know why it didn't work, Marco. Never mind.
Hey, Bron, I'm going to head over to the booth that Kesh and I were on. I'll catch up with the rest of you in a few minutes.
Okay, yell out if you need anything.
He's like,
Okay.
I'll see you around.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I think I will basically run up and try and help Julio tackle them to the ground.
Very well. I'm just going to press a button in the fridge. Yeah, make athletics or acrobatics.
Yeah, so there's a fan in our fridge that isn't working, which means every 10 hours, the alarm on the fridge starts beeping.
I
And
didn't know we
apparently
just had alarms.
it's going to take 10 days to get the part. So we have to, 7 days to get the part to fix
So
the
it's
fridge.
not going to happen again until 9 a.m. tomorrow, which is fine. So not unreasonable time
That's
to be
a
woken up by a
convenient
fucking
alarm.
fridge. Yeah. And it's
Why is there an
you
alarm?
can't make it stop until you buy a part from Fisher and Paykel to make it stop.
Oh, that's why they put the alarm in there.
Yeah.
And that'll take a week, and there's no way to disable the alarm, so it doesn't go off every 10 hours until you can fix it.
Yeah.
That sounds like something Bron would put in an appliance.
It's
Why
all
would
of
you-
this, and it's going to cost like $400. I'm like, I could just go on Gumtree and get a different fridge. Except it's really hard for me to, my car is nowhere near large enough to put a fridge in anymore. My old one was. Anyway, never mind. This fridge didn't cost $400 when we bought it, secondhand. Anyway, I'm morally opposed to throwing things away that still theoretically work, is the problem.
I only rolled an 8, so I probably don't help Julio tackle this person to the ground.
Oh, Bishop Blood, our fridge has an alarm that if you leave the door open for more than about a minute, it goes. It says, hey, by the way, door's open. Wait, you don't have that in the US? So, Kesh, what do? You 8 acrobatics, not so great. Julio has caught up with this guy, however. Julio, what do you do?
Yeah, so I pull on their hood so they can't see, and I'm trying to basically fall with this fella on the ground,
This
so
is a
we just
grapple
horizontal.
check. This is a grapple check. However, I will allow it to be with acrobatics.
Oh, thank you for the weird acrobatics. I will take that. Am I still with advantage on that?
You are hasted, so yes.
Hell yeah. Let's fucking go. That's a 27.
Okay. Yeah. Can I get one more D20 in chat to sort of resist this? Otherwise, you've got this guy. Exclamation mark roll 20 or roll space 20 or acrobatics. Whole rectangle. Oh,
That's
okay.
the best description of a fridge I've ever heard.
Yeah. And the microwave is all hot rectangle.
It's
Marco Desuna got a 5. And it's Marco's turn, so we'll use that one. Cool.
Nice.
So yeah, Julio, I think even with its +9, he only manages to equal it.
Yep.
So even if we use Shanahos's, so yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I got him.
You got him. You nail him. You pin him to the floor, and yeah, you wind up straddling this Ellerin, who is not much bigger than you, actually. Before you is a haggard-looking tabby Ellerin in stained clothes and a ragged cloak. Muddy strips of cloth cover his paws, and he looks like he hasn't eaten well in weeks. His teeth are yellow and his eyes are sallow. Sorry, I'm sorry. I was looking. No, sorry, I'm getting the voice wrong. I'm sorry. I was just looking for the Luma lady. The one with the shells? What happened? And I think we'll leave it there.
Wait, he's looking for the Lou?
The Luma lady.
Luma.
Oh,
He's
Pavoni.
on drugs. He's a drug addict,
Yeah.
and he's looking for his.
I'm
for his
definitely going to
dealer.
offer him a lolly.
I heard that as I'm looking for the Lou, my lady, as well.
No, I'm looking
yeah.
for the
I'm just
Luma
like,
lady.
What? You needed a toilet, so you came in here.
At this point, yes. Julio might want to get off him,
that
actually. He'll get wet. Yeah. No, we're going to leave it there, guys. Thank you very much. There you have it. And let's have some quite so exciting music. Let's have a nice little inner forest there. Splendid. Well, guys, you got to an interesting point. Fun story. Bishop Blood. That chap's name is Baron Bone Rot. But these
Ooh,
guys
good
do
name.
not know that yet. Yeah, his first name is actually Baron. He's not a lord. He was called Baron, and absolutely wonderful.
This
There you
is Trump's son.
So yeah, now we do what we like to do at the end of our at the end of our stream. We do our favorite moments, guys, where we talk about the stream that was and how lovely everybody was. So can we get an exclamation mark roll space the number 5 in chat to see who we're going to talk about first? Oh. A 3. That is Bron. We get that a lot.
Hey.
3 is quite
Nice.
a lot.
I'd just like to jump in first and go, like, wait, what, were you even at this wedding?
That was very good.
Very good.
I was going to say your reaction to Ereq's gift.
Yeah. I knew everyone
Yes.
else would want to say that one, so I
Yeah.
grabbed it.
Yeah.
Also, calling the little homunculus Steven.
Stephen is a
Very
good
cute
deep
callback.
pull. Yes, good
Yeah,
pull.
I love it.
Amazing.
I was like, yeah, when you put it, I was like, oh, him! Right. Yeah, it took me a minute.
A good
'Cause
friend
I-
Steven. who
Because
tried
I
to
made
kill
up that stupid name on the fly. It's
us. No.
Steven.
We would have never guessed.
Fuck you.
I was going to say the reaction to the armor, but seeing as the dam took that, which was rightfully
Stolen.
mine, I will add the idea to look for interdimensional spaces, interplanar spaces
that was smart.
in the wizard's dressing room. That was cool.
Yay, cool. Yeah, I had fun doing lots of little things this session. So I'm glad everybody appreciated them. I think I have done this a couple of times to creatures who can't necessarily move very quickly. Using haste on the creature that can move quickly. Just so fast. I realized afterwards that Bron's actually proficient in athletics, but still probably not as fast as Julio with haste. So
Even
Well,
Kesh, who
Also,
can
it's funnier
teleport.
watching the Jerbine tackle the Ellerin to the ground.
yeah, Jabin at light speed. Yeah.
It was the momentum more than anything else.
Hasted Julio could do like 150 feet around or something. Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
absurd. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like haste just in general as a spell, and it's always fun to pull it out. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Julio's
learned
going,
it. I
Where
think-
are you from? Like, really?
Yep. Stop resisting.
Yeah. So that's me.
Great. Amazing. D4 then, please. Yeah, I was going to also say the haste, but I didn't. Because I didn't need to, because I wanted to steal the one Brendan had. A 1! Well, that's bullshit.
Oh.
Serves me right for poking Brendan. All right, favorite me moment.
I really enjoyed you just putting so many drugs in the backstage area.
So many drugs.
I've done an
Like-
arts degree. I know how many drugs there should be in
Yeah.
a backstage area.
Yeah, we got those BAs. We know what it's like back there.
Yeah. Sweet baby boy.
The BA is short for Bachelor of Alcohol.
Yes. Yes, it
Nice.
is. I can master
Bachelor of
in that.
Addictions.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
addictions. Yeah.
I think, the the meeting at the beginning where you played a lot of people at the same time.
Yes.
I could always follow who you were, which is fantastic. I think you did that very well and was easy to distinguish between who was talking and what their agenda was. So yeah, that was my favorite bit.
I
To add
realized
to
the
that-
mistake I made there was that Beta and Iari have the same voice. Everybody else's are different, but Iari's and Beta's are very similar.
But specifically in that meeting, I also enjoyed Privet and how he, like, we see evolution of him to becoming more serious and more like actually one of the leaders, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was nice to see I blanked. Benna Seridan
Benna.
again. And to physically see an image of her. I'm not a furry, but if I
know,
was,
right? Yeah.
yeah.
She's the Humblewood's Karlak, absolutely. Not quite as fluffy. What am I talking about? She's an actual animal. She is much furrier, but yeah.
But no, it's been a
again.
long time since we've heard or seen from General
Yeah.
Benna Seridan, so that
Well,
was cool.
she hasn't been in the city because
Yeah.
she's been up at the crest, marshalling things. She's basically been doing the rounds of the wood, just doing her job as the commander-in-chief of the military here. She's got her 3 subordinates, like you, Karen, Kesh, Shyla, and Nils are all here. So she does not need to be here. If anything, 2 of you are probably more than sufficient, and Kesh is sort of secondary to not really. Shyla could probably be at the crest just as easily and do her job there. But, anywho.
Kesh could have been fired and there would be no difference.
Well, she's got a very different role now, and she can be wherever the hell she wants. But Alderheart is the place that makes the most sense. My favorite meme moment was getting to show off how all the threads are coming together.
Mm.
The drugs have been sprinkled evenly and then used. Then a straight razor has been, a very, very long time. This has been sort of building and building and building. It was a minor plot point 4 seasons ago, and it's becoming more and more relevant. And it was fun for me to watch you guys struggling to remember, probably over a year ago, stuff that might not have been relevant then, but certainly is now. And occasionally just going, by the way, do you remember this? Ah, fuck yeah, that. That was really fun for me, and yeah, I love putting in things that I can later on go and say, oh yeah, that was actually meaningful. And yeah. So yeah, pulling all the threads in together. I have written the next chunk of the adventure, and I'm really excited about it. I also really love the description of Pavoni's room.
Yeah.
Because Pavoni is properly fucked. But you guys haven't spoken to her yet. She'll wake up shortly, and you can go and talk to her next.
I'm very curious about how that conversation pans out.
Yeah.
Very
Cool.
curious.
Well, I'm very flattered. Thank you. Let us talk about somebody else. And seeing as there's no risk of rolling me, a 3. We're talking about Brendan.
Straight off the bat, I know you set it up last session, but like the gift to Bron, it just, like, I keep saying this about Ereq, is that there's a lot more going on beneath the surface. He's never 2-dimensional. Just like the night before, Bron had done something that made Ereq quite mad, or like 2 nights ago. But like, yeah, the ability for Ereq to just turn around and be like, here is my ancestral armor. Like, fucking hell. There's a lot going on with Ereq, and it's lovely to watch.
I would go. Mine is very much related to that, but it's how Ereq persisted in, like, no. Like, just like, dude, then fucking put it on and look great in it and be helpful. And then give it back later. Like, just not just saying don't worry about it, but like he felt almost a little embarrassed at the gratitude. And it was a nice change for Ereq. He's felt quite hard-edged recently, and an act of simple kindness, which isn't to say he isn't kind, but he just a tiny amount of self-interest, but this is really for Bron, was just really nice to see from him, because it gave Brendan a chance to show his softer side, which Ereq hasn't had a chance to show off recently.
One of the things that I enjoyed is Ereq's contribution to the investigation, where he very wisely focused on the magical side of it and left Kesh to do the investigating. I think that's very nice way of delegating, and it shows the different points of view that the characters have. Because Ereq is all about he's now magic and planar expert, and I like that you play into it. It's pretty good.
Bishop Blood has said a few actually in chat. It says Bron. Wait, Julio, were you even at the wedding? Here's my studded leather. Sell it. Do whatever. It's yours. Was both nice as well. Yeah.
Just a quick. I forgot who ended up receiving the leather armor.
No one. It was given to the church as, hey, thanks for not letting Ereq die.
Yeah.
It would have been so much more irritating to res him afterwards.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed me and Ereq just being like the ultimate drug cops.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That was fun. So you might want to look over there. Oh my god, there's so many drugs.
Oh my god.
It really was copious amounts of drugs, cartoonish amounts of drugs.
It actually was. Sorry,
so Julio and Bron just sucking on lollies in the background, watching these two case the room.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of
them.
Yeah.
No one would notice if any of those went missing.
The bin in Pavoni's room, you found 500 doses total in the whole area. The bin in Pavoni's room, best guess, at least another 100 used.
These people were just high as kites.
Pavoni's room, unless... Well, no, I'm not going to tell you that. Why bother? Because, Tivera, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. Thanks for joining us on that conversation of drugs. Favorite Ereq moment for yourself, Brendan?
Well, I just wanted to say quickly regarding that investigation. I'm sure everyone has seen this as a player or as a DM. I've seen both of there being an obvious set of skill checks and things, and then everyone is getting in on the investigation of I want to roll investigation, I want to roll perception.
Yeah.
And so it felt Ereq's perception investigations is pretty high as well. But Kesh is doing this, it's narratively makes sense, it's her fucking job. Why don't I do something that complements that rather than competing with Karen over who gets the higher roll to get the thing? So I enjoyed that. My real favorite moment was a thought that I had that I haven't had a chance to articulate. So I will probably save that until next session when hopefully we get a chance to make that happen. But I enjoyed Ereq being pragmatic as usual and practical and saying, okay, we almost got assassinated. I'm going to make it so that I'm going to do everything in my power to prevent that from happening again.
Yeah.
And so shoring up everyone's stuff and being insistent, like Ereq has a little bit in the past said, oh, maybe we should get potions, but now actually taken upon himself to make that happen and to make sure that we're no longer complacent and we have all the things we need in case the worst case scenario. That felt very in keeping with Ereq. And Ereq's way of caring for people.
Yeah.
Through practical measures.
I think I would have another one as well, pointing out that whilst everybody in the room is quite important, it did feel like a particularly to get Kesh. Yeah. It's like your logic was sound, and I'm not going to tell you whether or not it was right, but it was a very Ereq thing to say. It was correct from Ereq's point of view, and it was a really good characterful thing to point out.
Well, he didn't get the chance to say, hey, this assassin literally came with what he suspects to be poisoned champagne to our booth and specifically targeted Kesh with a knife.
Yeah.
But Ereq has a lot of reason to believe that's the case.
Yeah. Cool. Alrighty. D2 in chat, please. Tavera, if you wouldn't mind. ! Roll space the number 2. Bishop Blood rolls a 1. Julio, let us talk about Daria. So, favorite Daria moments?
The reveal of the little seashell locket.
Oh yeah.
Improvise.
Yeah.
That was cute.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, he probably had something from Raleigh, so.
Yeah. That was really cute, and the little story about, we did our first thing together, and then it was just like, oh, that's lovely.
Mine is related to that, but the conversation about that dream and that whole conversation that spawned on, potentially taking a trip to the plane of death, and Julio's insistence on that and insistence on making sure that Riley isn't stuck there.
Yeah.
And
his ex,
all
who was a
the
bitch to him
implications
the last
that and all the implications that has for what is currently going on with the air elementals as well. So that was very in keeping with Julio of, this isn't the undercurrent of this isn't even a question, guys. We're going to the plane of death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just I'm going to the plane of death. Your fuckers are coming with. Bishop Blood says
fine.
The melons won't fit in the armor.
Yeah.
I half expected you to say, yeah, Raleigh gave me this toupee.
No, that's Julio's thing.
Yeah.
Not that toupee. The merkin.
Yeah, the merkin. Weirdly, he's bald down there. So my favorite was when you did investigate the green room. What you decided to look for was that made sense, and it was a good addition to the scene. That was fun and interesting, and gave me a more option to give you more information. Give itself.
Wait, no.
Oh, sorry.
Me?
Sorry. I do apologize.
No.
Calm down.
I actually really liked the way that you handled Julio grappling the cat, because
Yes.
Julio is not naturally a grappler.
Yep.
At least as far as, but it was just a lovely way of no, that's exactly how someone that works like Julio would do it. You said it, and I was like, yeah, of course, that's fantastic. I love it, and it does instantly lock someone down. You grab their hood, they're not going anywhere.
In my sort of head canon, in terms of because Daria said at the time, a bit of a weird usage of acrobatics. I reckon if the person is resisting with acrobatics, then you can use acrobatics to grapple them. That makes sense to me, because it's basically about the method by which. So it does make a sort of sense. Don't hold me to that in the future, but in this instance, it made sense to me, and I didn't have an issue with it, and kind of wanted it to succeed. I didn't expect it to succeed quite as rapidly as it did, but there we go.
I mean, thanks for the haste from Bron. That was really, really good.
I love that Kesh got a 10-foot head start and just could not keep up.
Yeah.
Despite being as dexterous as Julio.
I mean, that's just a rogue thing to dash twice during a turn. That's very
absolutely.
good.
Yeah. You were chasing a rogue, though. This is the thing.
Yes, it's a rogue against rogue situation.
Yeah. You can dash 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the haze.
So, favorite self?
Yeah, favorite self I think would be the short recap that Julio gave to Bron about the start of the adventure, because it's good for Bron to know the situation, and also this was legit the first session of the game where Julio appears as a PC. So for the audience perspective as well, because it's been 3 years now or something.
Yeah.
So it's good to recap, and also good to see where Julio thinks Riley stands in their relationship, because he really had he attempted to mend bridges when they met, rolled shit on his persuasion, rolled absolute. I think he rolled a 1 if I remember correctly.
I feel like it, yeah.
Rolled
That's
so
amazing.
ass. Yeah, and then she was gone the next time he turned around. So yeah.
You tried to pretend that you were drowning.
Yes,
at one point.
I did. I was like, oh.
Well, it was like, I taught you to swim, Julio.
Yeah, I was a little stinker, and she didn't appreciate it.
She didn't buy it at all.
No.
Yeah, if you want to see the episodes, it's episode 11 and 12 of season 1 of Monsters and Magic, and it is over on our YouTube. And it's really cute. It's the first time Daria played Julio and stepped into the world so well and so rapidly that by the end of the second episode, I was like, hey, do you want to stay forever? Because originally it was just a guest spot, and Julio just fucking stayed. And then, the rest is history. And we are now at episode 51 of Julio's canon.
And
So-
now, look where we are now, making our own cults.
Yep.
Stop the
mere-
cult, started a cult.
A mere 51 episodes later, and he's a fucking pope. And I saw a 1 in chat rolled by Tavera. So, can we have favorite Karen moments, everybody?
Oh shit.
Oh
I forgot
yeah,
I hadn't
for
done
sure.
Shoot.
Being the drug busting major that she is, posing with the drugs. Look out, city, we're cleaning it up. Very good.
I may
I
have
like-
watched Super Troopers recently.
Yes.
I liked frantically trying to find a complete script and to say what the ending was.
Yes. And forcing me to make up what the ending was. Because I haven't written that fucking play. Because I'm lazy,
Well, at
I
one
guess.
point, with the first script, I tried to have Ereq snatch it away so I could just make up some bullshit in character, but I think that what happened was more satisfying.
Being totally chill with a blanket of bugs, says Bishop Blood.
Actually, yeah, I was going to say that. That was fantastic. Just being like, nah, I'm great. I'm used to it now. I love it.
It's been a month and a half now, 2 months. You've had the entire off period. She's been
4 months.
4 months, yeah.
It was a 3-month downtime,
Yeah. So
Still
she's
not sure.
very
Even,
used to it.
even after 4 months, I would personally not be used to a blanket of bugs.
The other trick is, in this world, bugs are livestock. It is
Okay, that's better.
It's more akin to waking up with a bunch of sheep,
a bunch of squirrels.
Or rabbits.
rabbits, meat rabbits. Yeah.
Don't call
Meat
them
rabbits are still rabbits.
Yeah, it's just rabbits.
that. I would also
Josh.
argue that most rabbits are meat rabbits.
Yeah.
You've shared more than one
Ginny,
story.
cover
that
your ears.
indicates
Don't
as
listen
such.
to him.
You hear that, Sammy? He's a foster as well. There's no safety for him. Yeah. What was I going to say? My favorite
Foster
one.
to adopt or foster to eat? I'm concerned.
Well, if it takes too long to adopt him, we eat him is the plan.
I mean,
so, you know.
The people who's supposed to be coming and getting him we haven't heard from him.
Yeah, I'm like, and that's fine. He's lovely, but yeah, just like, wasn't he meant to be gone by now? Oh well.
Tavera, you're very welcome. Thank you very much for the follow, and I hope you enjoyed the past episodes. I was going to say my favorite Kesh moment. And it's just waltzed out of my brain.
Yeah, Bishop saying Kesh defending the bandits for no reason was fucking funny. She's like, well, we could have killed more, but like we didn't want to.
We could have killed loads of civilians if we were trying.
We were really good at that. Oh no, wait. I mean, I remember what it was now because it happened very shortly after that. Oh no, it was in relation to that. Kesh deciding to Kesh has been saved minutes from death, of bleeding out from a death plane infused blade. Goes, no, I'm not going to have a long rest and level up. I am going to go and investigate the scene of the crime on my own. Me and my 14 hit points. We'll see you all later. 14 total, thank you. Not just that's max. Gets that, no problem, no biggie. But yeah, that's absolutely what Kesh would have done. No arguments at all, but just a power move. Once a cop, always a cop, except not always a cop. Always was bandit, now is cop.
I liked in that moment as well, this was more of a DM thing, and it only makes sense now that you've articulated that, Josh, but her being flanked by like 4 guards who would have seen her
She's so
basically
fucked.
on her deathbed with the 14 maximum hit points.
Just limping around the room, covered in her own blood.
Holding the open wound on her side that no one has healed. She's, basically exsanguinated. Yeah. She's Furiosa at the end of the movie. Yeah, she was not in good nick. So yeah, that was my favorite. Karen, favorite self, so that we can let Daria go to bed.
And of course my brain goes completely blank. I did have one. I picked it out ahead of time, so I wouldn't be stuck in the situation of not knowing what to say.
Misty Step immediately was also a good power move.
That was fun.
Love to see you using your abilities.
I did enjoy playing, just being like, there's so many drugs. I was expecting drugs. There's so many drugs. Like, there's enough in here to get a lot of people high for a long time.
Kill people with that many.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot.
I mean, they tried to kill you with that
weird
many.
shit, but my god.
These drugs will kill people that aren't even taking them. All right. Well,
I'll do
glorious.
a little quick bonus one.
Oh, go on then.
Karen is getting so good at using Hunter's Mark that she's even using it out of combat now.
Yes.
Yep, correct.
Just in time for her to get a counterspell thing that she'll never use.
Shut up.
Alrighty, we will go away from here now, guys, because we've been streaming for a gosh darn while, and we're all bleeding and tired. So, we will,
All of us.
All of us.
All of us
now,
are bleeding and tired.
Yeah. Got my
Our
scalpel.
cycles are like this. They're
I didn't say that. Way to take it to a weird place, Daria.
This is good. The point of death.
Bishop Blood did actually say, the Death Shard plane was just cool as well. Yeah, that was very cool. I, for one, am always bleeding. Yes, blood for the Blood Bishop. Cool. Well, we will go away from here, guys. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We've had a lovely time, and we hope you have too. Guys, who the heck have you all been this evening? Brendan?
I'm Brendan. I'm a silly little guy. I'm an actor and director, and I've been doing it for a little while. I'm here on Thursdays. But next week is going to be the last week for a little while. So
Actually, I was going to talk to you guys about that, but yes.
As far as I know, next week is going to be the last time for a little while. So check that out, or I'll find ya.
Fair enough. Karen, who the heck are you?
Hi, I'm Karen, sometimes known as the Mother of Bunnies. I'm a performer, a writer, and internet addict. You can find me here on Tuesday nights playing Baldur's Gate 3. Just beat the crap out of a hag, feeling pretty good about myself. And here on Thursday nights for Humblewood.
No need to call her that.
No, she had it coming. John, who the heck are you?
I'm John. I'm a performer, not a writer or director. I just perform. I'm a one-trick pony. I like
Did you write a
D&D.
film that got made?
I mean, I didn't write it. I did edit it, I guess. Anyway, yeah, that's a good point. 1.5 trick pony.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I enjoy playing D&D. I enjoy you guys. I enjoy everything about this. So yeah, come and see me for at least one more Thursday.
Daria.
I'm Daria. I'm an artist. I play Julio. Peace out.
Sweet.
And I'm Josh. Peace out as well. I'm the DM. You know the things. Press all the buttons. Follow all the things. Enjoy it. Very much fun. Guys, it was great hanging out with you this evening. Trolloc Games, Wound Forge, both awesome folks. The things that I was supposed to be coming up in chat haven't been, which has been weird, but I will fix it another time. Check that shit out at trolllord.com and Woodenforge /Corsairs Cove. Woodenforge.com /Corsairs Cove. They're great folks, and they support us, which is really, really cool of them. The music has been Sirenscape, and we're gonna go and raid somebody now. The Eldorian Tales are streaming, and we haven't raided them in a hot minute. They are a Persian/English D&D channel. They usually switch to English when we get there, so throw up your favorite road emotes in chat. Show them the love like we always do. Tell them where you came from, and we will see you same bad time, same bad channel on Tuesday night for more Baldur's Gate 3, or Thursday night for a little bit more Humblewood next week for maybe the finale. It all depends on how much they fucking get done. So
another 5 episodes.
Yes, at least that. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.